Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another series for you guys tonight. Ivy Gang versus Akuma Sabers, our second semifinal. And, well, Akuma's the one seed here, so they're definitely the favorites. But Ivy Gaming are no slouches either. And, obviously had to play their way through it, coming in as I believe, the fifth seed, if I'm not mistaken. And that's quite a feat to reach this. They're obviously the lowest seed coming in, but I've got some faith in them. They've shown some good stuff, and excited for this match tonight. And we've got a special guest caster with us tonight as well. Age King will be joining us, so why don't you introduce yourself?
What's going on, guys? It's Age King. I'm happy to be back. I was able to have the pleasure of casting last season's finals with Kois, and I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, so we're a little late on the pro draft, but already the Aphelios first pick came in with a Jarvan Orianna for Ivy Gaming here, and then Akuma Sabers the Lucian Rek'Sai Leona. So some powerful 80 carries picked up early on, and two junglers as well. So, well, we've seen Aphelios. He seems pretty good. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Aphelios is busted, in my opinion. They nerfed him a little bit in this most recent patch. I think he's the strongest AD carry in general. He does have the weakness of being very immobile, though. Like Jhin, but without the the move speed buff that Jhin gets, kind of. So if they could focus him down with the likes of Leona, Rek'Sai, like he does have some weaknesses. His damage is absurd though when he gets the right weapon.
That is a key thing though. Getting the right weapon. He has a one movement speed sort of speed up, but not anywhere near as big as Jin when he gets a couple crit items under his belt here. So we'll
Yeah.
keep our eye on this. I mean, they've already picked up the Leona or the Rek'Sai, a lot of diving potential on him in the backline, so we'll see if they can get onto him. Although on the other side, we got Jarvan Orianna, always a deadly combo if they can, get that synergy going together. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, Ivy Gaming still need that support unless it's a Jarvan support, which we have seen in the past. Although I doubt it'll be pulled out here as we get the Mordekaiser for Akuma Sabers. And looks like the Gangplank in response for Ivy Gaming in the top side.
Yeah, Gangplank should be a fine pick into Mord. Not neither of them is gonna completely dominate the other just by pick, but I like the Mordekaiser pick against Aphelios. I know we're talking a lot about Aphelios here, but if Mordekaiser ults Aphelios and he doesn't have a QSS, and Mord has any sort of lead whatsoever, Aphelios is just gonna get massacred in the Death Realm, the Shadow Realm, as it were.
Pretty powerful ability, that ultimate. So devastating to 80 carries or anyone who just gets caught in there with him if he's stronger, or even if he's even. Sometimes because of the stats he steals, he just starts demolishing you. So we'll have to see how that top lane goes. GP, one of the better matchups. If you can, cleanse that ultimate with his W, very helpful here as we get the Nautilus Aphelios matchup against the Lucian Leona here. And Azir looks to be the pick in the mid lane for Akuma Sabers. Just saw a buff recently to his ultimate. Got a little duration and I believe a damage buff on the ultimate. So Azir slightly better than he was before. We'll see if he's going to be good for Akuma Sabers in this matchup, but we'll be going up against the Orianna here. So any initial thoughts on this draft? Obviously, we talked a bit about the bot lanes, but anything with the jungle or soul lanes you think?
Both junglers are early game junglers. I think Jarvan scales better than Rek'Sai, so they have that going for them with the really, really devastating team fight in the side of Ivy Gaming. We'll see if Akuma can get a big enough lead to ameliorate the fact that they kind of get outscaled in most lanes.
That is definitely a concern for them, as we're going to switch right over to that in-client draft here. Should be a quick run through of that. Sometimes we get a few client bugs, but hopefully we won't have any this time around. And one of the scariest things, though, I think for me, is some of these team fight abilities, the ultimates. Right? You think Shockwave with the Jarvan, and of course, this newly buffed Azir ultimate, I think is going to be very scary for me as well. How do you play around that as an immobile 80 carry here? The Aphelios, again, we talked about one of his weaknesses being an immobile 80 carry. You talked about getting the QSS for the Mordekaiser, but what about these big ultimates? Do they just have to play around that flash cooldown, or can they fight with Aphelios if they're able to position correctly?
Without Flash on Aphelios, they basically have to be the team that's engaging, or Aphelios does not participate in the fight until the engagement is already over. So if they do the engagement on Aphelios, he's just dead without Flash 100% of the time, unless he's just way ahead or some sort of misplay. If the team has an organized engagement on Aphelios without Flash, he's dead. Now, that said, if Jarvan Orianna pull off the combo with the Gangplank ult and Nautilus ult following up, Aphelios can just push through while all that CC and damage is landing, and he can still participate in the team fight. So Gotta be careful. It's definitely gonna be the tide turning of the fight is whether or not they kill Aphelios early.
Going to be important. Both these AD carries obviously very important, but Aphelios especially going to be putting out a lot of damage here. So Ivy Gaming picking up this Gangplank, Oriana, Jarvan. That's big team fighting ultimates out of all of them pretty much here. So keep your eyes on that. But the Rek'Sai Jarvan going to be crucial early on. Where do you think they're going to go in the early stages here? You know, is top a gankable lane or bot lane? What's the focus for the junglers early on? Or are they just there to protect their lanes to get them to later stages of the game?
Yeah, so Rek'Sai should be focusing bot this game. Leona, Lucian have such good kill potential, and Aphelios is such a good target to gank that I would, not to mention obviously Rek'Sai's guaranteed flash knockup. Just such a good set of 3 champs early game. You should definitely focus time there. Mid lane is the only lane that Akuma like kind of loses early on. Azir into Oriana, like Oriana can kind of zone him off the farm there. GP Mord should just be a farm lane. Depends on if Mord wants to go for some spicy claws or not.
All right.
That's
Well, that's
yeah.
certainly a scary thing to deal with here. Yeah, slight TP advantage here. Akuma going to be going with the 1 extra TP instead of that Oriana going barrier. So the Azir potential to maybe move around the map a little bit. Do you expect a big play globally from either one of these sides? Obviously, you have the Gangplank, but then the double TP on the other side from Akuma. Do you think any other team will be incentivized to make a play in the bot lane around a Dragon or Rift Herald at some point in the mid game or mid phase of the laning phase anyway?
So Rek'Sai wins the early fights one-on-one into Jarvan, because he could cancel the knockup of the EQ. But once Gangplank ult is up, all those things that I told you with like the Lucian Leona having kill pressure and the Rek'Sai having kill pressure over Jarvan is kind of evened out with the Gangplank. So to me, that puts even more pressure on AKM to do something even before level 6 to get some sort of a lead. If you're not trying to get a lead playing Rek'Sai jungle early, you're probably playing it wrong depending on the matchup. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on some carry here and see if he does his job. What the consistent pass I've been seeing people do, at least in solo queue, and I've been doing, is like buff Gromp buff. I'm sure you've seen it a lot, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like the fastest way to level 3. If they both go the same way and end up having a 2v2, that 2v2 is gonna mean so much for the stage of the early game. Like who gets the first drag is usually the person who wins that fight.
Yeah, that'll definitely be important to keep our eyes on. Luckily, they fixed the actual UI for the dragons, so you can actually see what dragons have been taken.
Ah,
Um,
that is useful.
yeah, a nice addition there. They do have still a few bugs with the terrain on some of those dragons, but hopefully those will get cleared up in the coming moments of the season. So, any last thoughts before we go in? Obviously, like I said, Akuma the favorites in this series. Do you have a prediction on the series as a whole, or this game, or what are you thinking going into this one?
Ooh, I can't say because I haven't seen Ivy play in a little while. Akuma's a very good team. I played against both of these teams. Both of them are strong. I'm definitely going to consider Akuma the favorites. If I had to make a guess, I would say we're doing a best of 5, right? Or
Best
is
of
it best of
five,
3?
yeah.
Okay, so 3-1 Akuma is my prediction.
All right,
And
well, we'll keep our eyes on that. See if you're right at the end of this one. Ivy Gaming versus Akuma Sabers coming up in just a moment. We'll take a short break. We'll be back for game number 1 in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Game 1 here. Ivy Gaming versus Akuma. Sabers coming up. And looks like just a 5-point stance here. Nothing crazy to start things off here in game number 1. A little bit of damage being put down to some carry, but nothing really crazy to start things off.
Phase rush on the Orianna. I think it's a smart pick. Gonna be really important that he's mobile in these duels early game. And late game, of course, but Ares another option a lot of Oriannas go, but the extra damage is not going to be the make or break as him getting in and out of the fight. Phase rush.
Looks like Ivy gonna walk in for a ward on these Raptors, perhaps. Yep, gonna throw one down at 110 towards that Raptor pit, trying to keep track of some carry as he passed through the jungle here. But we'll be starting on the bot side. The Rex side will be on that blue. Shockpool and Azuki, you're gonna see each other. Exchange.
Rek'Sai knows this. He can actually path around. I don't know if it's worth it, but he can path around the vision to keep blue team guessing where he is, because he knows that there's a ward on that Wraith. Those Raptors, rather. Wraith is the old school name.
The blue will be taken by both these junglers here, so we'll see if they just willingly go into vision or if there's a unique path they take here. But both blue into Gromp, and we'll see where they go from there. But
Yeah,
starting off the
probably
lane
red.
phase.
Top lane's going as expected. They're just farming. They have not. Oh, he's collecting some health from Mordekaiser.
Well, a little bit of a dredge line there. As Turtle walking forward, a bit of an exchange of damage. And just some light trading early on. As the Jarvan making his way, taking the Wolves, going bot side. Rek'Sai skipping the Wolves and going straight towards his top side. Will be spotted on this ward, though. He doesn't path around it. Looking to go for his buff here. So, as you said, buff. And 2 buffs in a Gromp early on to get that level 3. Jarvan, the full top side clear into bot side now.
Jarvan slightly slower on the clear, as would be expected in this matchup. Looks like some carry is going to path top for an immediate gank. Gangplank should be a little bit aware of this, because it's like the most consistent gank that's pulled off. Is a 3 buff, 3 camp. There he is.
Azuki trying to run away, but cut off now. A good barrel, gonna try and get himself out. Nope, Azuki pulled back. First blood over to Shockpool.
Yeah, just not respecting the most likely path that Rek'Sai would take there. His other next most likely path would be going mid. Looks like Orianna was playing kind of safe there, but my eyes were focused on the top lane as well. Jarvan opting to do the golems as well. Let's see if he can get anything out of this. Oh, there's a ward here in this brush here that should kind of tell Red, okay, we're just going to play way under tower, and this is a waste of Jarvan's time because of adequate vision.
Do have an Ocean Drake spawning by a minute 30, so that'll be our first dragon of the game. Scuttle Crabs are up, but neither jungler has made a move towards them just yet. As Hexam is still here on the bot side.
Let's see if Mordekaiser holds his teleport. Now, he does use it. Gangplank doesn't have his either, but there's going to be no TP advantage for the dragon fight, and no one will
Dredge
have...
line gonna land from Turtle. Hops in. They find a lot of damage here onto Brash. He's gonna have to flash out. Heal used as well. So double summoner spell in for the ignite and the gank. A small win, but not massive. Brash staying alive was quite nice there. I think surviving that gank is very nice.
Yeah, it's certainly good that he survived there. I do wonder if they knew that Jarvan was there, because they saw him on the ward a little bit earlier, but I guess some time had went by and they thought they were safe.
Yeah, well, you hope the jungler doesn't sit in your lane the entire time. Every laner thinks he's left by then.
Right, right. You can't play scared all game and expect to win. Some carries considering doing something top, but it looks like he might finish his recall here.
Just gonna go back here. Just spotted out in the ward. The Azuki found him just as he was finishing his back there. Now Shockpool and Azuki in a true 1v1 now after a couple minutes of a jungler topside. And Azuki gonna fire back with a little bit of damage, but not much here, just shoving in that wave. Dragon is up, that Ocean Dragon there. And a slight gold lead here for Akuma, although few people have gotten their backs in just yet. Only the junglers really have gotten back.
Mid lane seems to be farming equally. They're both basically out of mana, but Azir's going to get the recall off first. He does have teleport. Either jungler could theoretically solo this. Jarvan's a little low on mana, but he could do it. Just it's too risky without full vision control right now.
The control ward plays down. Turtle going to take out that trinket ward as well. Both junglers here, but neither looking for the gank just yet. Wave's in a bit of an awkward spot for either side to gank at the moment.
This is a reasonable time for red team to make a play. They have the mid lane shoved in. They'll have a numbers advantage. Oh, the vision did spot his ear walking that direction.
So it looks like the play is going to be called off for now. Azuki pulled back. It's smacked in the face once again by Shockpool. And doesn't get that barrel off in time. The decay rate is so slow on those, like, before
Early
level
up.
7 even.
Yeah.
So slow.
Rek'Sai's going to start it up with the pink board in the pit. This is a super common tactic. He basically started soloing it. This is going to be a contested dragon, though. He could just pull off of it, or they can go for the 50-50.
Dragon about 1,700 health right now. Some carry coming back for the honey fruit. Now they're going to try and take this dragon here. But being pincered from either side. It's going to be 4v4. Top laners do not have TPs here. Turtle pulled back in. The cannon's raining down. A big shockwave finds two. Flash out from Indigo, and Griffin will walk out towards the bot lane. But a huge engage from Ivy wins them the fight and probably the dragon afterward.
Really well layered EQ into Orianna ult from Jarvan Nori combo. Basically cleaned up the fight. I feel Azir may have overcommitted a little bit there with the flash ult onto only Nautilus. It looked good, but after the follow-up, there was really not much they could do.
Well, I mean, that's what, you know, we talked about it in the beginning of the game, right? The huge shockwave, it can decide so many fights here, and Akuma just wasn't really able to absorb that in an effective manner. Just got completely destroyed that first shockwave, 2 members down, and once you're in a 2v4, there's really no way you can win that one. Shockpool's still doing a good job topside as a CS lead, but that play bot side really got Ivy Gaming back in the game here after, you know, going down a couple hundred gold in the start here, so that's really good news for them. And now the next fight could be pivotal as well here. There's not going to be much motivation to take a fight in the coming minutes because there's no neutral objective at the moment for either side. But
Rift Herald will be spawning. That's the only thing.
Yeah, Rift Herald will be
Sometimes fight for
spawning
that.
in a couple minutes here. But there's no dragon, which I think is where they'll probably fight again, right? Because getting your bot lane topside is kind of difficult, so it's unlikely we'll have a fight up there.
Yeah, maybe a 2v2 or 3v3 at most. So a little thing that mattered a lot there was that was an Ocean Drake. Rek'Sai lost like half his HP to the dragon, not because Ocean Drake does particularly more damage, but in the context of him retreating off the dragon, he took like 5 more autos. Like 5 total autos, I should say, because of the slow that Ocean Drake does. You gotta be super careful that if you try to solo an Ocean Drake, it can backfire real quick if they spot you. If that was any other Drake, he just leaves and he still is most HP. Doing the Rift Herald now. And a bot play at the same time. Might be a trade.
On that. I think he tunneled over so that control ward in the river didn't see him.
Yep.
The shockwave in the mid lane. Now Captain Ezekiel trying to find the kill onto Griffin, but the ult away with the Emperor's Divide. Griffin's continuing to be chased. Flash over that one. Griffin has nothing left, and he's going to go down here. Captain Ezekiel with a solo kill in the mid lane with the shockwave. Not even an aggressive summoner spell here. He just flash forward, no ignite, nothing. And now Rek'Sai gets the Rift Herald, but a solo kill.
Yeah, that's a feels bad moment as a jungler, because you want to help your mid laner so bad there, but if you pull off the Rift Herald, you just wasted like 20 seconds.
Dredgeline misses from Turtle. Now Brash caught underneath the turret Hexmist here. He's got Cataclysm available. Gonna have to just EQ out though, and Turtle slows him up, trying to walk out. A bit of turret damage here, and the Zenith Blade takes Brash forward. A Dredgeline onto Indigo, but a stun back from Brash. Gonna find it. Flash out from Turtle. He will survive, so everyone has used a bunch of cooldowns, but no one dead just yet, and it looks like everyone will walk out okay. So Ivy Gaming with an interesting attempt at the dive. Didn't really work out for either side.
Well played by Akuma, though. I feel like in a 2v3 there, they were able to live. Lucian channeled his ult at probably the exact perfect time to chase that Jarvan off, and Leona hit the ult to follow up from Nautilus hitting his Q. Just stacked CC on him under the tower really well.
Yes, quite a nice play by Akuma there. Surviving is definitely a win for them, I suppose, in that situation in 2v3 here, but now some carried down. Looking for a gank. Nope, not going to go for it, though. Just going to... Oh, nope, he's still coming out. Now looking for the ward. That'll be spotted, though, in that tribe rush. Zuki still down about 20 CS here in the top side. Obviously the biggest lead in terms of CS here. And that's a bit concerning, but, you know, your GP, he's got a cull. He'll be just fine given time.
Right. And I believe he can eat on... Oh,
Now,
right
ult
the
in,
bomb.
they find the root, and now the chain CC coming through. Brash will die. Dredgeline here onto the 80 carry. Indigo trying to kite away, but will not be able to. Access with a kill. Rek'Sai
Rek'Sai
gonna
might
get
be
one
able to do
back
something
here
here.
onto Bobby. Cataclysm comes down. Turtle in the Zonias. He'll be able to
Excellent
get one
stop-off.
auto off. Hexmas going back in here onto Griffin. Some carry trying to get out, but the Shockwave is going to find his mid laner. Griffin dies for the second time to that Shockwave, and some carry gets out, but the rest of the team not so lucky.
It was a smart ult from Gangplank, perhaps a little bit late, but it would have gotten the second kill maybe if he did it a little earlier, but still a good look. Now we have Dragon spawning in 35 seconds. It's going to be an Air Drake. Good for both teams. A couple members on both teams can highly benefit from that.
Some powerful
Mordekaiser.
ultimates and some decently long cooldowns, especially on that GP ultimate.
Yeah, Mord as well, I believe, has a decently long ult cooldown. 140 seconds currently.
Well, one of the big problems with his ult is not the cooldown is like crazy long or anything, but he doesn't have he doesn't build any CDR really. It's all like health
Right.
and AP, so he doesn't actually have a CDR item besides like Zonias. That's like his only real CDR item,
Potential.
unless he goes for like Nashers or something.
Yeah. Nash's is viable. Oh, he hits the combo onto GP.
Yeah.
Just a trade for now.
Nashers is viable. It's just that like you generally don't want to get it unless you're committed to that split, you know.
Right, right.
So you don't get it as commonly as like the Andres. As we get the
Yeah,
dragon started up here on the bot side.
Looks like it's going to go uncontested. They must know they're doing it. Yeah, they're just going to concede it. Decide it's not worth the risk of checking into that vision against that team. Calculated risk assessment.
Mountain will rise here. That'll be our next dragon of the game, and the terrain will be a bit more crowded here. A few more choke points now in the jungles, so we'll keep our eyes on that. And obviously a lot of AoE potential for both these sides. We'll see if
Yeah, I quite like
that
Mountain.
will matter.
I think it's better for red team. Because they have more members that can stack resistance.
Turtle gonna dodge out on the stun from Brash here. Some carry already dead. Bobby now trying to run away, though the coin's gonna kill him. Indigo now, he's completely untouched at the moment. Dredgeline though gonna find Brash. Griffin going in, finds a knock-up onto Hexmist. He'll hop out though, and now the TP even shock pool gonna be ineffectual. Nothing he can do there. Azuki's still on the top side, has his TP. No ultimate, but be able to push in this top side wave. And Shockpool's TP, just a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to be with the team, but that time it was the wrong decision for sure. Close to Gnarless trying to cancel that last back as well.
So a 7-5 kill score now, and a slight goal lead for Ivy. Actually starting off the series quite nice, and people were doubting their ability to win the series. Even I was, wondering. I didn't think it was going to be, maybe a 3-0, but I certainly thought this was going to be an easy win for the side of Akuma. Yes, we get an ult in the mid lane, but Captain Ezekiel is underneath that turret, so Shockpool's like, hey, maybe I regret this decision here. He's actually taking a lot of damage, Captain Ezekiel, running low on mana here, and the shield will make sure Shockpool's not going to fall to the enemy mid laner there, but maybe bit off a bit more than he could chew.
Yeah, he invested in a Seeker's Arm Guard, which is like super ineffective against an Orianna, obviously. So he just was not in a very healthy position when he ulted her. You have 3 in the bot lane right now.
And Brash is maybe going to get cut off here. The auto going to find the root for Turtle. And the Cataclysm thrown down. Flash away from Brash, and the heal might get him out. No, the Dredge line comes through. The Cannon Barrage is used as well. Actually, Zuki going to secure that kill from the top side of the map.
Gangplank's going to say thank you for the gold.
Not terrible to give him that gold, but I don't know if you want to use that cooldown for that.
No.
I think he was probably already dead regardless, but we'll call it
It was
worth.
a kill secure, not a KS, right?
Yeah, kill secure, exactly.
Oh, gank in the top lane.
Yep, and now
He does
Azuki
have
gonna get
flash.
knocked up by some carry, pulled back by the Emperor's Divide, flash out, but here comes the Void Rush. Some carry gonna
Can
get
he
the last
trade onto
auto.
Rek'Sai?
Nope.
Oh,
The
both of
turret
them, one
shot,
more
not
turret
enough.
shot,
Yeah. Turtle gonna come back, looking for the potential dive on Indigo, but he's gonna walk away. The turret getting very low, and that'll be taken out thanks to Bobby and some help from Turtle and Hexmist. Here is the first turret gonna go down in the bot side. So a nice win there. And now the Aphelios, he's got quite a bit of gold here, up to 300 on his opponent here. You can see that the gold lead in the jungle and the support positions as well.
Yeah, Aphelios is going to have a good time if the game keeps going as it is. His front line's going to be beefy. Jarvan went tank. Gangplank has grasp. Hopefully he goes... I like to see Sterak's on Gangplanks.
Well, sub-carry's very low on this Rift Herald. Captain Ezekiel has just found him. 900, 500 HP. The Smite going to get the Rift Herald, but the kill for Captain Ezekiel. Now they got to try and pick it up. Akuma's coming over. Looks like they'll get the Rift Herald. Now Captain Ezekiel actually has to be on the run, but Hexmas coming into reinforced. Shockpool with the Rift Sculler move speed has still has to flash away. Cataclysm comes and finds him. In the Death Realm he goes. Hexmas trying to walk it out. He'll be able to run away for now. He's just hiding in the corner, trying to wait out this timer. Indeed, it will time out. Out of the Death Realm he comes, and Bobby going to find another kill.
Rift Herald mid, right on the back of that. They should get the charge off. Maybe not the tower, though. Yeah, they have to retreat now. They're going to be numbers down on the map.
I'm not going to quite get the tower, but it is pretty low. And getting that mid tower in the next couple of minutes could be really nice. So we'll see if they're able to pick that one up soon. 10-6 in kills now, and the gold lead a couple thousand right now for Ivy. 2,000 gold lead at 16 minutes. Not something I thought coming into this game we would see. Again, I thought Ivy were going to have to scrape and claw to find a win in this series, but they're doing a great job here in game one. Here, 1-1 in Drakes, up gold and up kills.
Hook lands.
Oh wow! Through the wall?
That hook? Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right.
That definitely looked like it was through the wall here. That is interesting.
Yeah. That's not how that ability is supposed to work. In case for anyone that doesn't know, the Nautilus hook is not supposed to go through the wall. As the knock going to be found, but Griffin hops away.
Yeah. Good reaction from Griffin. A little bit ambitious from Turtle there.
The cooldown's not super long, but there is a dragon spawning, so it would be nice to have it now. It's about 100-second cooldowns. Yeah, so it's 180 seconds away, so they won't have it for this fight if there is one.
That does matter.
Yeah.
That's their only form of 100% guaranteed CC.
Yeah. So no depth charge. The Dredge line is found, though. They find Brash on the front line, but the Yapshot going to buy quite a bit of time there.
Yep. Very smart to get that stun off.
Culling coming through. They find the stun onto Hexmist, and now locked down. Brash going to set up that kill. As Sumcarry goes in the back line, going to find a lot of damage there. Void Rush coming through. He's going to go on to Captain Ezekiel. Going to get shut down before he can find that kill. Now it's a 4-on-3 here. As Ivy Gaming
deals a lot of damage from far away.
Yep. Does not have the ultimate any longer, though. So Captain Ezekiel very low. Azuki and Bobby mostly full health. Brash looking over the wall. He's got a ward over if he can see that. Trying to find the engage. He has no ultimate either. The Zenith blade the only way to get in for Brash. Indigo hopping in. Almost finds a kill on Captain Ezekiel. Indigo not going to get hit by a barrel from Azuki. Shockpool and Griffin trying to take the dragon right now.
If they stall it, Jarvan can be there in time. If they just take a fight.
Yeah, Brash going to get hit in the front line by Azuki's sword. Indigo. Now, he gets flashed on. Bobby with the kill. Griffin and Shockpool have to run, and the dragon's going to go over to Ivy Gaming. Hexmas not even needed. He hopped in the pit at the last minute, but
damn.
Not needed for the smite. Well played there by Ivy Gaming.
Yeah, capitalization of a little bit of an overreach from AKM there. There was no junglers, but it was like about an even amount of kill pressure for each team. And when they're doing the dragon, Brash is just getting killed on the side. It kind of gives them no chance to win that exchange.
All right, so 13-8 in kills now, and a larger gold lead for Ivy Gaming. Continue to grow that slightly, but the game. Do you feel like it's in the control of Ivy Gaming right now?
It certainly should be. It's by no means an insurmountable goal deficit for AKM, but I think it's easier to execute team comp in these team fights. Like Nautilus is just going to press R on a priority target, and then Jarvan EQ R with an Orianna ult, and they're pretty much gonna die. Now, they have to Indigo is positioning really well in general, so that they have that going for them. Like Lucian can actually, he has the mobility. He's been positioning well. Azir has the escape tools as well, but it's not going to be easy for them to survive team fights unless they're the ones engaging, and they don't have nearly as good engage as blue team has here. Ivy. Just look at Orianna. She's 5-0. She can probably one-shot people on her own, let alone with this massive combo that they have going for them.
QSS already purchased as well for Bobby, so that's some good news for Ivy Gaming. He's got that extra gold to be able to do that with. As Sumcarry over the wall looking for the dive onto Azuki. Shockpool Griffin here looking for it, but Azuki smartly backs off, and now the top side control is going to be given over to Ivy Gaming thanks to this commitment from Akuma on the bot side here, and Captain Ezekiel might get this outer turret. As more wards being cleared out here, but Azuki back to defend this turret, and yep, it'll just be because of that attempted play bot side, Ivy just get a turret for it, basically. Captain Ezekiel will take that one down, move back, and now another turret picked up, a 3-0 turret lead overall for Ivy Gaming, which is amazing. They've got full map control, essentially. As long as, if they can keep this mid lane outer up for a couple more minutes, like, that'll really be big for them to continue to maintain control of this Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. The mid lane turret is so pivotal in terms of having control of the map there. Teams can't chase you down. Minions won't push further, obviously.
21 minutes in here, a mountain and ocean over to Ivy Gaming, a cloud on the other side there for Akuma, but Ivy, I mean, winning in pretty much every respect in the game, not by a massive margin, that is to say, but in the lead pretty much everywhere, and that's a good sign for them going forward here, and obviously gives them some confidence so that they can fight this #1 seed in Akuma the rest of the series here. If this is the game one they're gonna have, I mean, we might have to start rethinking our predictions. I don't know, it's obviously a little early to start it completely second-guessing ourselves, but I thought this was going to be a 3-0, a 3-1 series like you predicted, and it was just going to be Ivy maybe getting a few wins here and there, but really they've looked just as good, if not better, than Akuma here in game #1, which I am completely surprised by. But Akuma marching down now, looking for this mid-outer turret here. They've got 3 members. Ivy trying to defend it, but yeah, not going to be able to.
Yeah, Ivy just kind of let them have that by positioning so far back as they were. I think they took resets a little bit too late. Like they needed to reset earlier.
So unfortunate,
okay, though.
Slight mistake there from Ivy cost them the turret. It's only one, but obviously losing that outer in the mid lane, a turret that kind of gives over a bit more map control than some of the others. And now they're gonna throw that mini wave back over to the enemy team's side of the map here. A minute left on this mountain drake spawning. And maybe Vision gonna be placed here to grab that.
Ezekiel building a little bit of health. I'm guessing he's gonna eventually get that into Merlos, but just the item by itself, Oblivion Orb, is pretty high value. Using the double spell pun item with the boots, talking about Orianna here. Oh wow.
An aggressive Baron start here from Akuma. Looking for it. It's about 8,000 health, 7,000 now, and no one really knows. Finally, they spotted out here with the Scryers.
They're gonna get it.
Oh, Cannon Barrage coming down. Smite. Gonna be on point there. And now Akuma trying to get out. Cataclysm gonna find Indigo and Brash. And it looks like they're gonna die here. Depth Charge coming through. The knockup double kill for the Aphelios. So they get the Baron, lose 2 members. I think still a win for Akuma. A surprise move, but they're able to sneak the Baron.
Yeah, I respect that decision a lot. It was risky, but they kind of needed something to claw back a little bit of map pressure in the game, and they definitely got it. Mord has this wave Baron bot lane, but they should have to concede the Mountain Drake. Yeah, they are. So, I mean, not the worst for Ivy either, though. As long as they can withstand this push and not lose that much out of it, they're now 1 dragon off a very high percentage chance of winning the game. You know, getting that Dragon Soul, the Mountain one makes it super hard for the enemy to kill you. Like, you have a shield based on your health, AD, and AP. So pretty much everyone on their team is not going to be able to get one shot. By any of the engaged.
All the souls very, very powerful. So we'll see if they can pick up that soul in the coming moments here. Will be another couple minutes before we get the chance at that, though. Another 4.5 minutes here. And now we got to keep our eyes on this Baron. How does this Baron play out? If Akuma are able to get some advantages off this, you could call that trade worth it. But if they aren't able to get much off it, then you'd say, well, it's a win for Ivy. So we don't really know how that play is going to, function in the rest of the game until we actually see how this Baron is going. And in the first few moments here, nothing major has happened. Just a few waves pushed in and out. But Akuma making a move towards the bot side.
Certainly going to get this bot outer turret.
Yeah, we'll secure that turret.
Mord went a Wit's End.
Ooh, interesting item, yeah, from the Mord here. A Wit's End picked up from him. MR is useful against the Orianna Shockwave, but there's really not very much AP damage besides the Orianna. And I guess the obviously obligatory support AP damage, but like that's really not much of anything. So interesting you went for the Wit's End, but obviously that's giving him some attack speed for turret taking.
Yeah, I would have preferred to see a Nashers there. We were talking about that earlier, how it's like good for the split push. It seems like he's been mostly split pushing, but Wits End doesn't really give you that much more into GP except for the heal that it gives.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That healing is quite valuable, especially on melee champions. You heal quite an amount, but
While below half health, heal for 100% of the damage dealt if you're a melee champion.
yeah.
So
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Zoni is completed now for the Mordekaiser, though, so he's on 3 items. And looks like the QSS and now the Infinity Edge purchased for the Aphelios. So he's on 2 and looking for his 3rd. Both AD carries on that Infinity Edge Essence Reaver plan here. And now looking for that 3rd item. But Bobby already on the QSS. Really good for him. He's in a great spot in these team fights, potentially for Ivy Gaming.
looks like the Baron's not really going to be used for much. Other than that, I mean, they got some map pressure. Basically, it was like pressure relief getting that Baron. Like, the enemy if the enemy team got that Baron, it would have been so much worse for them. Aphelios, though, they need to focus him in fights. They need to kill him or Orianna very early in fights, or the amount of damage they deal is just going to be so high. Without, like, hourglasses and stuff like that, they're not going to be able to survive, and only really Azir can afford to build something like that.
Only the Orianna has the not the QSS, the stopwatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
The QSS
So,
on Aphelios. So both carries technically have a way to at least alleviate some of the potential of the ultimate from the Mordekaiser. So that is something to note, that they do have each a way to defend themselves in some capacity. As Azir also has a stopwatch, so both sides trying to pick up those defensive items where that next big fight breaks out, and you know, they don't just get blown up off the start of it here. But everyone has flashes up from both sides here. Only one summoning spell down right now. That's Suzuki's TP, but that'll be coming up in just a minute or two here. So pretty much everyone has everything available that you would want at this time.
looks like he's looking in the bot lane.
Yep.
Okay.
Suzuki, smart ward over. That's a 5-man from Akuma bot side. They tried to find Azuki, but Azuki playing very smart defensively here. Gotta commend him on that, because he's been, attempted several times in the bot lane. So him not getting caught either time is quite nice for Ivy, because if they lose him there or the attempt they made earlier on, that could be big. You know, losing
Rek'Sai
more
is
turrets
very
than
big.
this. Oh yeah, some carry's
Pay
still
off.
here. Gonna find the knock-up. Mordekaiser isn't here. He's way further down the lane, though. But maybe a solo here with a Void Rush. Suzuki trying to get out, but some carry just strong enough to find the kill.
They need to get out, though. He can't overstay here. The whole team's here with the exception of Orianna.
Ivy Gaming
The
coming down
best
to
of the
collapse
rotation.
here. Turtle looking for the engage onto some carry who's in the alcove. Depth charge going to go down onto him. Knock up, and then they find the hook as well. Hexmist looking for it. Bobby goes unstoppable on the Rek'Sai kill. Hexmist in the Death Realm now with Shockpool, and he's running the wrong way into the enemy team. Down he goes. Griffin with the last hit here. Now Turtle going to take the culling in the front line, flashing back into it. Indigo with a kill on W Turtle Captain as he goes to flash out from the solar flare. And Bobby walking away as well. So the two carries survive, but everyone else dead, as Death Cap was completed for Orianna, but she never really got a chance to use it.
Really good patience from the Rek'Sai there. It led to a 3-for-1, even though they kind of got caught out towards the end there. The overcommitment of the fight leads to probably the dragon for AKM.
The Mountain Dragon. Look at me take him, but over the wall they go. They find a shutdown onto the Orianna here. That's a lot of gold being picked
That's
up.
huge.
Dragon
Here.
goes over to Shockpool here as Bobby trying to run away the Ignite on him.
Cleanse
Trying to
used
auto
on him.
here.
Does he
We'll
still have
dodge out
QSS?
here on the Zenith Blade. Brash taking a lot of damage. Down he goes. Griffin here taking a lot of damage. Stopwatch going to be
Good
used here.
stopwatch.
Indigo coming in to reinforce, but Azuki grabs the kill. Another one picked up by him onto Indigo. So Bobby and Azuki each get a kill there at the end of that one. And just barely not getting the kill onto that 80 carry here. Really stinks for AKM losing 3 members on the backside of that play.
Yeah, unreal amount of damage from Aphelios, but you know that's kind of how Aphelios goes when he gets 9 kills, or he had 7 at the start of that fight, I believe. This time it's going to be Ivy starting up the Baron, but
Ivy
Rek'Sai-
on the Baron. Akuma here. Some carry getting jumped on here in a Cataclysm. Hexmist trying to 1v1 him. He's got some support from Bobby over the wall, but some carry going to tunnel back out here. The Baron at about half health, and Void Rush going to be used on Hexmist. He's going to flash back into the pit, pulling the Rek'Sai with him. Depth charge used. Down he goes. They find the kill onto some carry. Now a couple of 1,000 health left on the Baron. Your Shock Pool here as well. The smite. Oh, GP gets the Baron. Bobby going to die to Shock Pool here in the front side. They're just trying to get out here, but Turtle caught now by Griffin and Shock Pool. Hexmist will likely get out. No, Solar Flare slows him. But the flag and drag away. He'll survive.
Yeah, another 50 units away, and that would have been a dead Jarvan probably. Again, a little bloody attempt at the Baron. People dying right after. They might be able to capitalize on the pressure here and push this mid. I don't think they can get it. They can probably do some damage. We'll see. Their turret take is pretty fast. Alright, yeah, they're getting out of there.
So Baron buff over to Ivy, but like the other time we saw Baron take in this game, last time by Akuma, they lost some members on the way out here, and now Akuma didn't really get much off that Baron. We'll see if Ivy can get anything off theirs. But as it stands right now, they're still on their side of the map here, as Akuma gonna back and try and spend their gold.
That's their Zir turret. They might just want to march down mid lane.
Looks to be the move here from Ivy Gaming. They got GP in the bot side here. No TP, but Cannon Barrage available. Shockpool has TP, and looks like he's going to respond to the Gangplank here. So Azuki and Shockpool going to be there in the bot lane once again. Azuki going to take a hit from Shockpool, and going to get pulled back. And now Azuki trying to make it out here. Into the Death Realm he goes. The Blast Cone. Oh, yeah, it saves the oranges. Well done there by Azuki. Going to allow him to get out of that Death Realm. The Baron buff power play still in effect here. Ivy Gaming looking at the center turret in the mid lane, looking to pick it up. They will get it. And really important Azuki stayed alive there. If he dies, that means that play really just kind of gets squashed right there.
Yeah. We'll see. Looks like they're going to collapse bottom now. Yeah, they should be able to get the bottom tower. They have a little bit of rotation priority. Oh, no minions to tank it up, though. Turtle was just tanking it up for a little bit, but you know, if they're gonna take a team fight, Ivy, they should take it now.
Now this Gangplank did go crit. You talked about Stairage Gauge earlier, but no damage from Azuki this time, and he's starting to hurt. 1,000 damage barrel crits coming out from him, so that's gonna start to be a concern.
Really well. Yeah, it certainly scales really well. He's got 50% CDR right now. I wonder what he'll go next. You can opt for a Phantom Dancer, which will give him a shield as well. The issue with building what he's building there is that he typically can't win 1v1s, especially without more of a sustain. Like, he has Grasp, but that's about it. That and his W. But it is very pleasurable when you're playing Gangplank to one-shot the entire wave with a single barrel when it crits.
So the GP sitting on about 1,100 gold right now. I'm not sure what he's going to build next.
He can't get a Zeal yet.
Could have gotten the crit cloak though, so I'm kind of interested why he didn't get that, or a control ward.
Maybe he will. It's a little bit late, but they're not going to force it by the time he gets there anyway. He does opt for a Blasting Wand.
Leandri's Gangplank?
Am I reading that right?
He's got a blasting one in inventory right now.
Yeah, wow.
It's Leandri's Gangplank again.
It's been built before?
Well, I mean, at the end of a game, one time, yeah.
I mean, the ultimate certainly scales well with it, and his W. Gangplank's out of position here. He doesn't have teleport.
Well, big engage here. Ivy completely caught out. Oh, big shockwave to try and fight back. Ivy is fighting, but they're already dying here. Zuki finally comes in. A big barrel from him. Oh my god, it's huge! Indio Griffin on the run. Here comes the GP with a blasting one in inventory. Azuki with a massive play to come in and save his team. A double kill there. Captain Ezekiel with a huge shockwave as well. And it looks like they're going to get the dragon.
Yeah, that almost was disastrous for Ivy. They were funneled into that choke point, and they almost all died.
Blasting wand, dude.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, his ultimate does scale really well with AP. I think it's a 1 AP ratio, and his W also scales really well with it. So we can take that for what it's worth.
But either way, a huge barrel there from Azuki, which basically saved the fight from Ivy, because they got caught out. A huge solar flare from Brash, and then everyone just came in. It looked like Ivy had lost, but Azuki came in, and then a huge shockwave from Ezekiel, and then it was just like Ivy gaming from there on out. Huge play there by the Gangplank and Orianna.
Yeah. Man, that shockwave damage made that even possible. It's very good that he had the wherewithal to still throw a proper shockwave, even though their team fight was essentially lost at that point if Gangplank didn't show up. Very well done by them to make something out of that. Now remember, that's also the soul, so they're gonna have a big shield. So the next time that they get caught out like that, it's gonna take even longer for them to die.
Yes, the Dragon Soul picked up there, so that's pretty big here, getting that Mountain Soul, and especially with a champion like Rek'Sai, you know, he wants to kind of jump on you and end the fight early on. Even Leona as well. That's a big soul to pick up against them.
Like Orianna gets a free 300 shield. I'm looking at her. Jarvan's getting a free 450 shield almost.
Not bad. Plus, Bobby
bad
gets a
at all.
shield from one of his guns as well. So that's not bad either. So is it going to be Leandri's Gangplank? I want to know.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, I need to see it now. Yeah, for sure. He's got almost enough gold. He's going back right now.
What else would he get? The blasting
Leandri's. Yes!
There it is.
Leandri's Gangplank in the house. He built crit, and then he's built Leandri. So I guess it is just for the W and ult scalings.
Yeah.
Plus, the barrels probably apply the burn, right?
It does, yes.
Yes.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
The attack speed on Mord actually helps him a lot with clearing these barrels.
Yeah, massive, actually. He just hit all 3 barrels down before Azuki could proc any of them.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's interesting with GP is you actually can kill the barrels faster with your autos than you can with your Q here. As Azuki getting jumped down here by some carry and Shockpool. He's already used his W. The orange is not going to be enough to save him there. As some carry taking a lot of damage on the way out, but not enough to die from that turret. As Baron being taken right now by Ivy Gaming here. Redemption used to try and do some damage to them. Smite going to come down from the Jarvan. Brash is here as well as Indigo, but they're not going to be able to cut them off. Ivy Gaming certainly going to get back. But some carry grabs the turret in the meantime. In the bot side, getting that inner turret there.
I mean, not the greatest trade for AKM, though. I mean, if Ivy can do something with this Baron, they already have the soul. Looks like... Alright, so Elder's still going to expire by the time Baron's up, essentially, but... They should be able to storm it down mid lane and win a fight. The straight up fight is what they win. Getting a little bit tense over there. Azir does have teleport, so right now they're up a man on the map, even though he's not there.
GP has his TP though, and he'll revive in about 5 seconds. So both sides should have all their members available for the next fight.
So Leandri's also gives him more DPS because of its passive, its Madness passive, which is the 2% more for each second in combat, up to 10. And then the other part of the passive helps him deal with tanks, which is pretty much just Mord and
Rek'Sai,
a
kinda.
little bit of Rek'Sai, yeah, and a little bit of Leona too.
Yeah.
Just decent amount of health. And I guess given that most of them are AD, it kind of gives them a better spread of damage between magic and physical.
True. Yeah, that is
possible
important.
for anyone to itemize against Gangplank. Like, you can't just stack armor anymore, like Mord was kind of doing.
Well, even stacking armor against GP is tough because he has so much pen with the barrels.
True.
Some carry though has found Azuki in the side lane. Azuki doing a lot of damage here, but Sun Carry has the Guardian Angel, and he might even kill him
And the
first.
ultimate.
Void Rush
Oh,
comes
no.
through, and Some Carry with a solo kill in the side lane. So that GP with Leandri is not working out this time around, but obviously last fight it was amazing. So
It's now or never on this fight.
yep,
Rek'Sai
Ivy
should be on
Gaming
the
going
way.
in, looking for the inhibitor tower here in the mid lane.
They need to pull the trigger right now, even though Rek'Sai's not there.
Here comes the Rek'Sai tunneling in the backside, and Ivy Gaming are going to gauge on. Some carry with a
It's
big
on
play in the front
Aphelios.
line. Guardian Angel proc. The Cataclysm comes down here, but he's only locking in Shockpool in the front line members. Indigo untouched in the fight so far, but so is Bobby. Big shockwave in the backside. Indigo has to flash away. Bobby has not been damaged yet by anyone. And Bergevide pulls back the Orianna, but she gets a triple kill before she goes into the zonies now. Will come out of it. Barrier going to save her for a moment. Shockpool with a kill. Bobby again untouched in the backside. Bobby gonna get pulled in here by Shockpool, but they're gonna find the kill. No, Shockpool just gets away through the gate, but Ivy win a 4v5 team fight.
Yeah, they did have the Baron buff. They did have the the soul. That's like as good as another member practically. Calling the
Shockpool
GG,
coming back in here. Bobby pulled back. A dredge line finds Shockpool. TP coming in from Azuki. Trying to cut away is Ivy. Shockpool with massive damage here, but Azuki takes out the turret as soon as he spawns in. Now Shockpool damage here. Azuki taking the turret, aggro turtle in the front lane. Now it's swapped to him. Pulled back. Shockpool smacks him down. Bobby taking massive damage, trying to kite away. Solar Flare finds a slow on him. The QSS, but he's going to go down now to the Ignited Brash. Azuki trying to run away, taking turret damage. Finds the kill and flashes out. Somehow able to kill the support Leona, but unfortunately, Shockpool able to clear out the minions here. So a couple Next tower taken down and half the health of the other one, but the Nexus still stands. And Ivy Gaming, while they're in the lead, haven't finished yet.
Shockpool just made a hero play. He didn't do crazy amounts of damage, but he survived for about 15 seconds under the Nexus towers while they were indecisive about focusing him or the towers, and healed so much. Conqueror plus his passive plus Wit's End, I'd imagine, healed him a lot right there. 80 per auto. He must have autoed at least, what, 10 times during that? 800 HP with pre-mitigation.
Well, now the Elder Dragon, he started up 4,000 health, 3,000. The smite going to be big here. Who gets it? It's the Rek'Sai. Some carry secures it. Heximus gets out over the wall, though, and Shockpool's Death Realm will not keep him in.
It prevented the steal attempt because he ulted Jarvan and he couldn't smite when he's in the Death Realm.
Well done by Shockpool then. So not able to grab that dragon. The smite secured by Rek'Sai, though. Good job by him as well not to get caught by any stray potential abilities by Ivy Gaming, but nice teamwork there. And now Elder Dragon over to Akuma.
Both teams fighting really hard for this win, and this is only game one.
A much closer game one than I think some people would have expected here. We're 41, almost 42 minutes in. And right now, Ivy Gaming with a slight gold lead, but we're starting near the 70-80 gold mark where that gold lead starts to matter less and less because everyone's starting to max out on items besides those supports, of course. But this has been a crazy game here. I don't remember the last time we had such a close game at this time in the game. Usually once we get to the 40-minute mark, there's a clearly someone who's in the lead or someone who's about to end the game. And while, sure, the next tower has been taken, Akuma just won a fight, just won the Elder Dragon. Like, this is by no means over. It feels anyone's game at this stage now. And in fact, they're the ones pushing through in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Elder Drake buff is stronger than the Soul, like, just by itself. Because once they get them to 20% health, they're just dead. So if they can get them there... It's very, very tense for this tower here. They don't really have the power that Baron has to really push, especially considering their inhib is down. So it looks to be like it's going to be a stalemate unless they can get someone baited out or contest this Baron, which is spawning in 30 seconds here. Lucian's going to have to get off a lot of crits this fight if they're going to win. He's got to play very safely, and they have to also kill Aphelios.
Killing Aphelios definitely a key part of this fight. He's got a completed QSS now into that Mercurial Scimitar, so a little bit extra lifesteal for him as well as that ability to cleanse anything he wants.
He has two cleanses. Cleanse and QSS.
Yeah, gonna be important in this fight. Upcoming here, Ivy Gaming trying to find a way into that Mountain Dragon terrain, making it a bit harder here as the Baron already at half health. Now at 3,000 HP, they go in with the ultimate Cataclysm down, and it's stolen! He got it! Heximus has stolen the Baron here. Indigo putting out some damage, but he's going to be on the run. So is the rest of Akuma. Shockpool caught completely on the other side. Ivy just going to ignore him for now and run to mid lane. A huge steal by Heximus, and that might have just done it. They might have won the game off that steal from Heximus. A massive play from the Jarvan. In fact, he was down level, still level 17 to some carries 18, and it looks like Ivy are marching for the end. Full tank Jarvan as well.
Let's see if the Mordekaiser can make another hero play here. He can be the tank that Gotham needs.
Well, the Baron buff plus the super minions, it's very hard to stop here. Ivy clearing out the minions and trying to push their wave in. Griffin is here, though, and it's a decent wave clear from the Azir and Indigo so far. Shockpool going to pull Bobby in. Trying to run away now, going to lifesteal off. Some carry going into the backline. He finds the knockdown on the two carries. Bobby, though, will shut him down. Captain Ezekiel with the Zonies saves him. Zonies from Indigo on the other side. Akuma trying to flash out. Big play by Azir in the front line, pulls in Azuki, but he gets shut down himself. Azuki now going to go on to Indigo, running away. Shockpool healing up in the front line in his Zonias, using his shield to try and buy some time, but knocked up and knocked down by Heximus. And now on Nexus they go, and that's game one to Ivy Gaming over Akuma Sabers.
Hype game. Well played by both teams there. Ivy showing some serious, shall we say, evidence against the naysayers here.
That was an impressive game one for sure, and a massive steal from Hexmas coming in at the end to steal that Baron. Whoever got that Baron might have won that game, potentially. So that was a humongous steal. A couple aggressive Baron calls from Akuma Sabers. One worked out, one didn't. And now Ivy Game actually find themselves up 1-0 over Akuma Sabers. A surprise result. But now we know Ivy Gaming is here to play, and they're not to be messed around with. Akuma Sabers need to regroup and come back with something. What's the best thing that they can do in between this game to try and regroup?
Well, definitely don't give them Aphelios again. Aphelios did the most damage in the game. Gangplank actually scaled to do very similar damage to Aphelios, so they need something that can shut him down earlier. More, not to say that Mordekaiser was at all the problem. He did the most damage on his own team and had a couple of excellent plays, but they need to pick something with more direct execution. They need to either have something that's going to engage or split. I feel like their comp, without having a big lead, doesn't have like a very bread and butter type of fight, right? Like it would be what the Leona ult into damage, right? Like or a Rek'Sai a
Irexa
zero.
coming in as well, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not nearly as like the execution for Ivy was just so much easier, and they performed it so well. Like in the mid game, those engages were just pretty much guaranteed, which is something that the other team lacked here. AKM really needed there. So draft a better or an easier to execute comp in terms of like a more clear win condition. Either split or have a better engage if you're going to team fight.
All right. Well, with that, we'll take a short break. Be after game two in just a moment here. Stick around. Ivy Gaming up 1-0 over Kuma Sabers. Welcome back, everybody. Ivy Gaming now up 1-0 over Akuma Sabers. And I like to stay on the same side. So we're going to stay on that blue side. Akuma Sabers wanted red side for game number 1. And Ivy Gaming won that one. And now Ivy Gaming is just going to stay here. So they like that first pick. But Akuma Sabers now going to ban out the Aphelios, as you talked about, H King. Like, hey, maybe we should get rid of that champion. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, definitely really strong.
Maybe you have to ban out that GP, though. That Leandri's really started to take over the game there, as we get Rumble and Lux bans, as well as the Akali to round out Ivy Gaming's 3. And now Akuma with the Aphelios, Lux, and Oriana for game number 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure if one of their players is Lux main or something, but the other two bans definitely expected based on the last game. First pick looking to hover over Olaf here. It's definitely another early game jungler, but different play style than a Jarvan for sure. Both early game, but the late game, the way that those two characters are used is very different.
Olaf, one of the somewhat common first picks we've had in the last couple months, and a powerful jungler here. Not a lot of things that can play well into it. So Olaf first pick for Ivy Gaming, and now Akuma Sabers playing around with the Nautilus. We'll see if they keep it. Gonna be the Nautilus lock in here for them, and we'll see what they.
Probably gonna go to Brash. I know Brash loves to play Nautilus in the support role. Unless we were gonna see some Doinby stuff for Griffin.
Potentially, I mean, it could be played in the mid lane, but not very, not as common anymore. There was a time, but Rek'Sai now picked up for Akuma Sabers, so we'll see how that matchup goes in the jungle. Olaf, Rek'Sai, Nautilus picked up for Akuma, so now Ivy Gaming maybe gonna look for their support in AD carry positions at this stage. We'll see what they do, but most likely a support, of course. So, I mean, to me, we've seen a couple of Brahms in the past. I would say it's not a terrible option here, but Thresh has been a common pick as well. It's been a favorite of many of the sports in the SFL.
Also, one of the most intense to watch, because every time he throws a hook, it matters a lot.
So we'll be the Thresh here. We'll see what they pair with it this time around.
Bless you.
Thank you. I muted myself on the stream, but not on my.
Okay.
So they didn't hear the sneeze, but you did. So your ears are blessed.
Right. I'm just super religious, I guess.
Well, I'm possessed by the devil now. That's what it means when you sneeze. All right. So Cassiopeia going to be paired. Oh, maybe paired in the bot lane, but probably a mid laner now coming out of Ivy Gaming, and Syndra in the mid lane for Akuma. So going to be a Cassiopeia Syndra matchup. I believe we had that last series last night, if I'm not mistaken. We had a Cassiopeia Syndra, and now we get GP Mordekaiser banned. So both teams were like, "Hey, those top laners you played last game, we don't want those anymore."
Yep. Yeah, Cassio, Syndra, both two of the most prominent mid lane picks in the current meta. Both really strong. Both can do a lot from far away. Syndra has a little bit more range and better at setting up ganks depending on the matchup, because of her QE can technically hit farther than like a ground or a Cassio ult. Let's see what the last ban is going to be for Akuma. The Felios already banned. They could target AD carry. They are. Yep. There it is. The Caitlyn ban. They want to not have anything safe, I feel like, into that comp. I really hope Akuma drafts some good AoE type things from the next two, or a really good split pusher.
Yeah, that would be helpful. The split pushing was good for Akuma last game with the Mordekaiser, but
yeah,
never really came together completely. So Kaisa banned now by Ivy Gaming, and Akuma Sabers now going to pick something. They've got to blind pick something, basically. The Xayah going to be the AD carry they decide to blind pick.
They could easily go Xayah here. That's a good blind pick.
So Xayah pretty safe against most of the champions shown so far. For Ivy Gaming, not a bad matchup in the laning phase itself. We'll see what Ivy Gaming go for. Looking for their top laner and AD carry. Potentially, so Kaisa, Caitlyn banned out alongside the Aphelios. There's only a couple really viable AD carries left, but Sivir would be pulled out here, so an interesting pick, but obviously good with that spell shield against Nautilus.
Yeah, very, very good against Nautilus. He's That's one of the few champs it really doesn't work on, like the guaranteed engage. There's a counterplay to it. Also, you have the Sivir ult with an Olaf ult means he will get to your backline, almost like similarly to how Jarvan pressing R will always get there. But now, even if they dash away, like he can chase really fast. Syndra is going to be very vulnerable. She's going to be a really good target for Olaf to hit because he just presses R, especially if he gets like tanky, and he'll be able to be on top of her. He might not do that much damage unless he's ahead, but he'll be able to be on her and cause her some serious troubles.
This is Cyan and now Gnar, it looks like, for the side of Akuma Sabers, which is... I haven't seen a Gnar in a while. Seen Cyan somewhat recently, but not Gnar for a while. So does play into a little bit of a split push potential if the Akuma want to go for that, potentially. Cyan doesn't deal well with a Gnar at most stages of the game, unless he's somehow gotten ahead. So I think we might see some of that potential splitting with the Gnar there. Ivy Gaming, though, not so much. They definitely want to just go face first into the enemy team here with the Cassiopeia Sivir, the Scion, and Olaf just tanking up at the front and Fresh playing in between, defending his AD carry and mid laner there. So I think we've sort of drawn a very clear line in the sand of like Akuma, they can team fight, but it's going to be also more about playing the map, whereas Ivy Gaming are just going like, hey, we're going to hit you a lot.
Yes. Ivy Gaming just wants to run you over. They want to put Akuma in the road, rev their engine, and then just put it into drive.
Yeah, it's going to go vroom vroom. Or is it choo choo, rather, with the Scion, I suppose.
Yeah, he is.
My mistake. So
I think this time I'm not really sure which team scales better. I like Olaf in particular is not that great late game, but neither is Rek'Sai. If you go on the support matchups, technically Thresh outscales later just because of his passive. Though Nautilus is easier to execute in late game, in my opinion. Mid lane, Cassio definitely is just overall better. She can guaranteed 1v1 Syndra. Xayah should be better than Sivir, and Scion is probably the only one that definitely scales better for Ivy.
Good to know.
So with that in mind, though, do you think that the potential build path for Shockpool might change a little bit? You might go for a potential, I don't know what the exact split push build would look like for Gnar, but Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet, or like a Blade of the Ruined King or something, to really try and win the side lane as hard as possible? Or do you think you continue to just build like Black Cleaver and a tank and just try and play like, hey, we have a little bit of a side lane advantage, but we're mostly focused on fighting?
So if they were going to only focus on the split push, I think there would have been better champions to pick than Gnar. Like, personally, I like looking at the teams, I kind of wish that's what they did do. But they should go Blade of the Ruined King, Black Cleaver, Mallet. Those are all really good items for Gnar in this situation. Maybe he'll skip the Blade and just go for the Mallet, Black Cleaver, just so that he's, better in team fights. Because his ultimate can make or break team fights for sure. If he gets Sivir and Cassio in that, which is not that unreasonable considering neither of them have a dash. Right. Sivir does have that shield, but they also have a lot of ways to pop it on Akuma Sabers. Between like Xayah literally just throwing her feathers out, Syndra Q, E, a Gnar Q in either form, a Rek'Sai Q, like so many things to pop it that it might not be that easy to hold for a Gnar ult if they position and force her to use it earlier.
Would you have preferred they pick a Fiora here and just try and go, double down onto we're going to play the side lane? Or do you think that it was good to try and just pick up the Gnar and play a little bit to the side, but also be ready for the fights when they happen?
Yeah, Fiora into Scion is definitely a skill matchup. You have to time the W with his smash.
Decimating smash.
Yeah, like he can let it out earlier. And I know this because in personal experience, I had played the matchup once and not timed it right, and it's basically like you're just inting into Scion every time you press this Q.
Yeah.
But or whatever.
Post always a tricky ability to get right.
Yeah, but Fiora would have been really good here because no one could match him in the side lane except if Cassio goes TP and matches him in the side lane.
Or the riposte and parry, I should say.
Yeah, both. Yeah, the same ability. Her W. So I don't know. Like Fiora might not be that easy into this team comp because Cassio could just flex and be the split push counter.
Mm-hmm.
So Gnar would probably do better into her than Fiora. I mean, yeah, than Fiora into Cassio. I don't know. It's not that easy for me to say that like Fiora would have been better here, but I would have liked someone who focuses more on splits. So potentially, yeah.
Well, would Jace have been better then because he has the range that could, make it a little bit easier to deal with a Cassiopeia potentially. And the laning phase in a sign I think is pretty good overall. So would you
Yeah.
say that Jace would have been good, and you try and pick something else in the mid lane like it's besides a Syndra? Because Rek'Sai, Xayah, and Nautilus seem like a very good 3-man unit to hold the mid lane.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Something safer, like longer range, easier wave clear. Syndra's not bad by any means at wave clear, but yeah, something other than her that would be able to peel a little bit more and escape herself would have made a split push pick way better. But given the fact they picked Syndra, they do kind of want to fight.
All right. Well, with that, any closing thoughts here? We obviously had a bit of a surprise in game one. Ivy Gaming taking it in a 40-plus minute game here. Do you have any predictions for game two? Any predictions? Do you want to change your prediction for the series? Or do you still think that's going to be a 3-1 in favor of Akuma?
Damn. I'd like to say 3-2 at this point. Still probably Akuma though. I think that they had more decisive calls last game, like with the Baron and when to make that play for bot and give up the other Baron. Unfortunately, they got the final one stolen, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? So I'll give them 3-2 for Akuma still.
All right. Well, that will take a short break. Come back for game number two in just a few moments. Ivy Gaming up 1-0 over Akuma Sabers. Staying on the blue side here. Gone for an even more team fight focused draft. They just want to run at them today. So we'll see if Ivy Gaming can do that and just run over Akuma again for a second win in the series. We'll see. But coming back up in just a couple minutes, Akuma Sabers versus Ivy Gaming Black. Welcome back, everyone. We had a quick pause as we got into this one, but now we're ready to go after, you know, a little bit of a DC, but hopefully that problem won't be plaguing us throughout the game here. As we have another 5-man set up here, so nothing crazy. No invades just yet. We had a few invades last night, but none so far in this series.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So a ward going to be placed down there by the Rek'Sai in that pixel brush. Going to go back and get that sweeper, it looks like, very early on. So trying to play around a little with the trinkets, get a slight advantage. So
Yep. Definitely helps.
maybe playing a special route to go for a gank early on and use that sweeper to make sure he's not spotted.
He could also just do the same exact route that he did he did the same exact route last game but backwards, where he did blue ground bread. He's probably going to do it backwards this time. Not's really good at setting it up. They're going to probably have to focus Thresh though, unless Sivir does not take her E early. We'll
Ivy
see.
Gaming once again go for that early ward on the Raptors at about 110 there, so they'll have that same information on the Rek'Sai.
Oh, you see the pings
potential.
coming out. He actually pinged that he was going to path the other way. I don't know if it was him or one of his teammates, but he pinged that he was going to path around and hit that plant. So what that does is it makes them think he's going to golems, which who knows, maybe he will. Let me see
On
what
the
he
red at the
does.
moment, we'll see where he goes, going upwards and towards the blast cone. So it looks like he is going to go up and around.
200 IQ move right there.
Smartly done.
Olaf's already He must have been throwing a lot of axes.
Yep,
Good thing he
went for
started
the machete, as most Olafs do. So they run low on mana, but some have been going for, I've seen some going for the other, what is it, the talisman or the extra
Yeah.
mana.
I've done it. It's also good. It's similar, but the you get more heal overall from the machete unless you're doing the AoE camps. He's doing a full clear as most Olafs do. Rek'Sai should be looking to gank now, but there actually isn't that easy of a gank based on the way the lanes are set up. So I'm curious what he decides to do here. Let's see.
Obviously, starting with the blue buff too, if you use the machete, you can have the mana from the blue buff, so you don't need the mana from the talisman as much here.
Right. He's gonna invade.
So Olaf now going to be jumped on here by some carry. He was level 3. The smite comes down. Olaf going to grab it. And now Hexmas, he's low on mana, has to flash away. Some carry gets a flash out of the Olaf, but does not steal the buff.
So importantly, mid lane had prio there, but if two things were different, then that could have went differently. If mid lane was even, and Olaf's W was back off cooldown, it was not. I checked, it was like 4 more seconds. He could have actually fought that. And if Cassio rotated first or bot lane rotated first, they definitely would have won that. So Olaf 1v1s basically everyone in a full-on fight, but that was not anywhere near a fair fight. He did get the full clear still.
The crab will be taken here by the Rek'Sai. Going to look maybe for a gank in mid lane. We'll see if he goes over. Yes, he will. Finds a knock up here, and it might be first blood in the mid lane. Captain Ezekiel flashes out, but the bite on the butt once again. Some carry picks up the kill on the Rek'Sai. First blood over to him.
Yeah, well played by them.
So Griffin able to find the damage necessary, and a great gank over the Raptor wall secures that kill. Olaf coming up topside sees the Rek'Sai, but Rek'Sai with double crab does not clear as many camps, but gets first blood and double crab. So the Olaf slightly ahead in farm, but I think still worth for the Rek'Sai at this stage in the game. As looks like we're just farming it out, bottom top, nothing much going on there. No real attempts. No summer spells down for, no attempts at a 2v2 or solo kill.
Yeah.
As
here
we get an
comes Sivir.
engage here, but Bobby with a good spell shield saves himself there. Now, if you Ricochet's taking a bit of damage there, we got an Infernal Drake coming out in about 20 seconds here. Shock Bolt pops in, finds a stun, and a bunch of damage onto Azuki. Goes back in the mini form, and now going to kite it out with a bit of damage from some autos. So the Gnar up 10 CS, obviously doing well in that lane, as expected in the early portions of the game.
Yeah, range versus melee. Typically range favored. Sion doing decently well. He's not that low.
Out of potions, though. Just has that shield left in inventory. So, I mean, a decent job from Mizuki, but Shockpool making decent use of this matchup in the top side. Mizuki out of mana now, going to have to eventually TV back to lane. We'll see what he does.
Second full clear from the Olaf. He's already got a significant CS lead, 11 CS.
So 5
man,
to 4
this-
there as well. A slight level advantage for the Olaf. Rek'Sai on the dragon right now.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get it. Oh no, he has the plant. He should take it right now. He should not wait a second longer. Oh, he didn't see the exact amount of health, so it looks like it's gonna be.
Smite over, yep. Hook gonna land now on the bot lane. Brash gonna take the dredge line out. So it looks like everyone survives from Akuma, and they get the dragon. So while the Olaf has gotten a farm lead, Rek'Sai have been a bit more impactful on the map early on.
Certainly. Not to mention he got Olaf's flash, which prevented him from being as aggressive in gank.
Potentially, prevented him from going in there. He was thinking about it. Maybe he's going to try it, never went over. And, maybe he thought twice because he had that flash down. There's no real way to guarantee an out there, as he has no, he didn't have Thresh nearby to try and lantern him out. He had his walk a ways over. So he's like, well, if I don't have my Thresh here, I gotta wait. And the Thresh never came, never got over there, didn't have flash. So he's like, all right, well, I guess I can't go in.
Without lane prio too, you really, if you go for the drag and you don't get it, then you probably die as well. Probably die even if you do get it without lane prio and flash. So, probably not worth the risk for the early game lead that he would have given over. Doing another
Some
full
carry
clear
going to be
with
spotted out on a ward here, so that's quite nice for the enemy side to keep tabs on that Rek'Sai. Ivy Gaming should know there's potential for a gank top side here.
Good deep vision there towards that. Let me see whose ward that is.
I believe that was a Scion. I think he walked over and placed that.
Okay, yeah.
I think that was Azuki
Rek'Sai
there.
actually swept the try, and then so he knows Rek'Sai was there. He plays super safe, smartly done.
So now 64 to 44 CS in the mid lane, 20 CS lead there, bot lane even, a 20 CS lead in the top side. So this Rek'Sai has got some help from his laners, but also made a lot of work. He's done a lot of work rather on this map so far here. Shockpool going to find another big trade onto Azuki, and there's not much he can do. He's the tank getting hit on by this Gnar, so
Yeah,
he's just kind of got to take it.
Gnar, that is.
Yeah. Not too long a cooldown in the early game. It doesn't look like there's ever going to be a play topside. All the camps are down and no junglers are here, so unlikely there'll be a play in the coming moments. As Griffin will secure blue buff, and now we have a dragon spawning about 2.5 minutes, at 2:45, and not much else going on except for the Rift Herald.
Thresh needs to evacuate, and he's going to be allowed to.
So Azuki and Shockpool continue to beat on each other up there. The CS lead a little bit smaller than it was a moment ago.
Yeah, now that he has a couple levels, Sion can actually clear waves. Looks like he took 3 points in his W, and now he's maxing Q.
It's an interesting skill order. I guess the shield to
Yeah,
the
so that he
boomerang.
doesn't get too low. Sion looking for a roam. Sion does have ultimate.
That would be pretty big here. Still a ways off the dragon. So maybe he's going to wait on that. Shockpool has TP, but no TP on Azuki or Captain Ezekiel or Griffin. So only Shockpool with it.
That can translate to a massive CS lead too if Sion ults.
Oh,
and,
stun
anything
found
just
by
backs up.
Griffin. Flash out from Captain Ezekiel.
Hold on.
And now Azuki going to find a knock up with a decimating smash. Can take a lot of damage on the way out, though. Yeah, so you see, he went for 4 points, actually.
So maybe he got the first 2 points in Q and then max W.
Yeah, it looks like that is the skill order there. Interesting move from Azuki. Maybe 2 points gets you the backline minions. Here's a flash away from Turtle. We got to play in the bot side. A hook going to be found onto the Rek'Sai. Void Rush going to be used, but Turtle gets the kill onto some carry. Didn't even see him reappear, but down he goes.
Yeah. I think he was ignited and actually died like the second he was trying to reappear.
Well, Ivy Gaming played that gank very well. A kill over to WH Turtle. As Azuki taking more damage in the top side here, and Shockpool may be looking for the dive. He does not have Mega available anytime soon, but the minion are doing just fine to harass Azuki.
Azuki just wants to keep him interested right now because Olaf just gets the Rift Herald for free now.
Dragon spawning about 30 seconds. Rift Herald taken by the Olaf here. Ocean Dragon going to be the one bot side. It looks like maybe the Olaf can get there if he runs straight from base. So potentially potentially a fight down the bot side. A little shock plus DP advantage, like we talked about earlier. So maybe not a great idea for Ivy to contest. We'll see what they do. As Zuki has to go back here now, completely out of potions, very low on health and mana.
Yeah, all he has is the ultimate. He can either use it to go dragon or use it to go top. He has to choose. Either way, he loses a decent amount of CS. He'll lose a lot more if he chooses to go mid. Yeah, mid to get to that dragon.
Some plates taken by Shock Pool on the top side. And
Zaya has her ult. That means it should be super difficult for the enemy team to kill her.
Rift Scuttle going to be taken. And now the dragon, about 3/4 of its health. Ivy Gaming are looking to contest this, but this is a bit risky for them. Hook, well,
Good
gonna
flash.
go out, but Griffin, yeah, with the flash, and now the dragon, about 1,500 health, about 1,000. Stopwatch from Brash.
Olaf.
Oh, Olaf steals it. Olaf gets the dragon. Some carry gonna put him in his grave, though. Hexmist gets the dragon, but pays his life for it. So a nice steal, but down they go. Olaf killed by some carry. So not a terrible play, I think, overall. Getting the Ocean Dragon quite nice for Ivy, but that kill and a few cooldowns used as well.
Sure, it wasn't like a full-on fight.
Oh, hook found by Turtle onto Brash. Follow-up damage there, but he's just going to be able to lock it out. So Zuki doing a bit better now that he's got some levels, some items. Those Ninja Tabi really quite helpful against this Gnar, as Ezekiel moving forward. Takes a lot of damage from Griffin, though.
We have a significant CS lead in the mid lane. That's where a decent amount of the gold advantage is on him alone.
Yeah, top and mid, the two biggest gold advantages in terms of positions right now. The jungle actually about 500 gold lead right now. The CS actually in favor of Olaf, but the gold in favor of the Rek'Sai thanks to some kills and some other gold. So an interesting gold spread here as Ivy Gaming not having the initial success like they did last game. They're a bit behind here, not massive, but down about 1,500 gold is certainly meaningful at 12 minutes.
They have potential in this Rift Herald as well. Olaf's still holding on to it. When he uses that, it's a guaranteed plate.
You'd
two
like
plates.
to get that off though. There's only about a minute left before the plates disappear, so like to use that soon to get that gold. Or first turret afterwards, I suppose you could go for that as well, but you definitely want to get something out of it here. A Shock Bolt knocked up once again by Azuki.
Good combo by Sion.
Azuki starting to trade back quite nicely actually against the Gnar when he does hit him with that Decimating Smash, as Hexmist now going to be knocked back there by the Syndra.
Unfortunate that the stun didn't connect, but that ward on the Raptor Pit, very valuable there. It's a really good ward to do. Easy for mid laners to do if you have Prio. Against people who actually clear the Raptors. Hook lands in bot lane.
Rash going to find the hook, but a good spell shift from Bobby once again. Akuma some carry comes up, but no play bot lane. It looks like... Here, how much damage is Unleashed Power doing right now? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. I don't think it's enough for a one-shot, but no, not a lot of Mara here. Some carry trying to steal the red buff. Gonna get the smite on it. Hexmist now using the Ragnarok. Gonna try and go in, but too much damage. Griffin with the Unleashed Power we just talked about. Gonna find the kill.
So, in solo queue, I prefer the build that Olaf's going right now. But in organized play, since people are very good at focusing down targets that are in the front line, I would have preferred to see Olaf go Cinderhulk. It can materialize to be him just hardcore stomping the enemy team, but without him having a huge lead early game, which he certainly does not at this point, the Olaf, I think Cinderhulk overall would have been better. We'll see how it plays out. Gnar doing an excellent job in the top lane of actually generating a CS health lead. It's probably going to force Sion's TP, and then it'll give him a TP advantage down the line when Gnar's will come off cooldown first. But a 32 CS lead, or it's going to be 35 CS lead after that wave.
35 CS and now a little bit going to be gained back by the Sion. In the mid lane, a huge lead there as well. Almost 30 there. In bot lane, 124 to 124. It's dead even there. So bot lane has been about a handshake besides that one kill, thanks to the interesting gank from some carry. But other than that, pretty tame there. The two soul lanes, though, have been massively in favor of Akuma.
Yeah, it's kind of expected with these lanes. I mean, with the Sivir AD carry, 2 tank supports, and a Xayah AD carry post 6, like, ganking them is actually usually in the other team's
It's going to
favor.
land here onto Brash, but now the gank coming in, depth charge. Not going to find Bobby, good spell shield, but they find the support, Thresh down. Turtle going to die on the re-engage from
Teleport
Akuma.
comes
Captain
in.
Ezekiel,
Actually,
yep,
does
from
have
Captain
flash.
Ezekiel. But nothing there, so another wasted TP. Shockpool not going to quite find the stun on Azuki initially with the Gnar ultimate, but Azuki eats another stun. Still an even trade overall as Hexmist knocked back by the Scatter of the Weak from the Syndra and just going to clear out the minion wave.
We'll trade in the top lane. Sion's in a little bit better position because he got his reset off. Gnar should be fine though. He should be
Black
able to
Cleaver
regen.
is completed for the Gnar. Flash in, Petrifying Gaze finds stun, flash as well from the Olaf. Looks like this. Oh my god, the Unleashed Power. Griffin able to trade 1 kill. Mid laner for mid laner. Hexmist gonna find the kill onto the Syndra here. So well done by Griffin, but he still falls.
Yeah. It still feels good play when you're in a 1v2 and you still manage to get one of the kills.
It's a confidence builder.
Certainly.
Still feels bad
AKM.
to die, but now we've got to play it around the Mountain Drake potentially here. Both mid laners have fallen. Shockpool and Azuki, no TP, so it's going to be a 3v3 until these mid laners walk back. Although Gnar is running out of base, maybe he will join.
Sion, his R key is
Yep.
waiting to be pressed.
Yep,
He's
Sion coming
waiting
down as well.
all
He's
game.
spotted in the mid lane.
They're playing pretty far up considering they know he's there. Top lane's pretty much even in terms of the way it'll go. It's going to push a little bit, but
Now a gank in the mid lane. Shockpool and Azuki here with some carry coming in for the gank. Finds a knockdown on Azuki. Captain Ezekiel is here. Put down the miasma, and Sion going to take a trip out, but the Void Rush finds the kill for some carry and the turret. Shockpool now has found it. A Dredge line comes in for Brash. They get the kill onto Syndra, or the Cassiopeia rather, as well. And the Syndra was in the
Yes.
river, so not even anywhere near that play.
such a key moment there. Like, Gnar flash ulting the Cassio there, like, as the Sion was dying. He didn't have a chance to react. Not that he had any skills or items to use there, but
Another Mountain Drake. Looks like it's going to go over. Hexmist in. Ragnarok, he stole it. Hexmist steals it. His second big steal of the match. And that'll
Xayah.
be... Second big steal of the game, actually. He stole
Xayah
the
with-
first dragon.
yeah, in the last series, he had that game-winning steal too. He's feeling pretty good about himself.
So-
Xayah, though, at the end of that fight, just flash ulted and didn't get anything out of it. She tried to, like, pick off Hexmist at the end of that fight, but that's going to be a big deal. Like, right now it doesn't feel like it, but in the next team fight, it will matter.
So that's 3 steals for Hexmist. In the last, like, 20 to 25 minutes, he's stolen a Mountain Dragon, an Ocean Dragon, and a Baron. So he's on fire tonight. Hexmist is really hitting his smites
Yeah.
quite well today.
Another feels good for a jungler is having a Thresh, so that you could do that kind of play and get out without necessarily having flash.
Yeah, wasn't able to survive the first steal this game, but able to survive the second thanks to Turtle actually being in position that time for the Lantern. And Shockpool gets his leap interrupted. Azuki now trying to trade on him. Gnar ultimate used. Brash coming in for the gank. Depth charge used.
Pretty
And also Hexmist here. Good interruption there by Azuki, going unstoppable as the depth charge was about to hit.
They have 5 members for the Rift Herald here.
19
like
minutes in, we're going
AKM
to take the second Rift Herald here. Hook gonna sail wide from Turtle.
Responding now.
Akuma coming in looking to contest this one.
Let's see if
Brash
some
gonna
carry
find the dredge line here. A decimating smash gonna come back onto Brash with a big stun to the scatter weak from Griffin here. In the front line is the Rek'Sai Sun carry. Trying to use the damage. Void Rush used. He's gonna go in. In the back line finds one. Sivir with the shutdown onto the Rek'Sai though. The Rift Herald resetting here is on 100 HP. Will be taken by Indigo on an auto. Shockpool going in looking for the Gnar. Pulls Bobby and the top laner Sion back. Azuki gonna go down here. Double kill for the Gnar. Shockpool with a big ult, but Captain Ezekiel trying to run. He's the last one left. Azuki in the zombie form dealing damage, but certainly not enough. And now he's stunned. A triple kill in the end for the Gnar after another Scatter of the Week stun from Griffin and a team fight win for Akuma. Much needed this time.
right as Baron spawns too. And they get the Rift Herald.
Yep, Rift Herald picked up, and now Akuma looking for the Baron. It looks like they'll be able to pick it up rather easily here. No one to contest this smite. As the Olaf just now reviving, and it doesn't look like he'll be anywhere near the Baron. One is taken down here, so a 20-minute Baron now for Shockbull and the boys. Akuma gonna take this one. And now 20 minutes in, they got a Rift Herald, they got a Baron. And they're looking strong here in game number 2 after losing game number 1. And now 8,000 gold up. Baron, this is a great situation here after losing game 1. I feel Akuma are back in this series.
Syndra hit a regular QE stun, not like an RE stun, and got a 4-man stun that fight. That was absolutely disgusting and mattered a lot in that team fight.
Very, very big plays there from Griffin and Shockpool. And now a lot of shutdowns available on Akuma. They just have gotten together quite a large gold lead. Shockpool now fighting Azuki in the top side. He's got 2 items completed, but now it looks like the plan is to just push with this Baron. Have Shockpool in the side lane. He's got TP up, so does Azuki. And the mid laners will have their TP shortly, but it looks like Gnar in the side lane. We've got Griffin in the side lane as well. And now several people coming to join him. So Akuma going to set up, and it looks like to be a 4-1 setup in the 2 side lanes.
Yeah, Akuma seems much more decisive this time with the Baron than last time. I mean, they certainly have a bigger lead as well, which is probably giving them this confidence. But Gnar can pretty much perma-push into Sion. I don't think Sion has any kill pressure against him unless Olaf comes. Even if he does, I mean, Gnar has the tools to probably survive.
Yeah, certainly has enough ways to get away here. As Captain Ezekiel takes a little bit of damage from the poke of Akuma. And the Baron buff continuing to power up these minions, and they're pushing forward here. Not very easy to stop these Baron minions. Not enough wave clear, even with a Sivir in one of the lanes. And Azuki getting just consistently hit with some boomerangs over and over again. Now Shockbull just going to bash his head into a turret. That doesn't seem very good for your brain. I would imagine he's got a lot of concussions.
He doesn't wear his helmet like he's supposed to.
True. You're also not supposed to lead with your head. That's illegal. That's a penalty. It's 15 yards, man. You can't mess around with that stuff.
He's gonna earn a lot more than 15 yards in the push, so in his mind, it's worth it. I mean, granted, his mind's.
Oh, here's Turtle. Dies in the front line here, and looks like maybe some carry will survive in the end of that one. So a clean pick there onto the Thresh. Turtle out of this fight. Shockpool looking over the wall, a few autos, but not able to really make anything happen. It looks like Akuma will back off.
Key insight here. Gnar had his flash up, has his ultimate up, but as he finishes the teleport, he switches back to mini Gnar. He could have flash ulted 3 of them into the wall there, but because he like barely got the unlucky timing, he wasn't able to do it. It was literally only 1 or 2 seconds off from him getting a trip, you know, probably 3 more kills there if he flash ulted for his team.
Unfortunate timing there. Sivir with the Phantom Dancer picked up, and on the other side we have Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver for Indigo. So we have 2 items and 2 items, but a slightly better 2 items for the Xayah at the moment. As the farm again very even in the bot lane, but thanks to obviously the gold from the kills and the Baron and stuff, we have a slight gold lead on the Xayah. The other lanes though, not even really close. 6,000 gold on the 2 solo laners there for the side of Ivy Gaming, and Akuma have about 10,000 on their solo laners. So this really isn't a very close game in those positions. And in the jungle as well, some carry adds insult to injury, spilling a blue buff over the wall. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Sivir's in a position here to deal a lot of damage in these team fights because there's going to be frontline she definitely can hit. Because of her spell shield and the movement speed from her passive and ultimate, she'll be able to kite, especially with Thresh peeling for her and a huge frontline of her own in Sion. And I guess a little bit of Olaf being a frontline. Again, I still really wish he had what do you call it, a Cinderhulk as opposed to the Black Cleaver. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but given that he's behind, he's still not going to deal enough damage to regen through the damage they're dealing to him. So he'd be much better served as a meat shield and still try to steal objectives. He might make the play on Gnar here. Doesn't look like they're going to do it.
Nope, not going to happen this time. Alrighty, so now we are in the 25th minute of the game here, just crossed that mark. 3-13 in kills, and the gold over 10,000 here, almost 12,000. the difference. So I don't really know how Ivy recovers from this one. Obviously, you have a Sivir. That's always, you know, hey, we have a Sivir. Maybe we can stall out, become a Fountain Laser there, but Bobby, I don't think he's going to be able to wave clear all of this. We've got a Baron spawning about a minute. I don't see how they win that fight at Baron. Maybe there's a way if you have a crazy Scion engage, but the way these fights have been going, it seems just like they're not really able to corral Akuma at all. And then Griffin or Shockpool comes up with a big stun, big play, and the fight's just over before
I
it
don't
begins.
think Scion has ulted in yet. He's only used it defensively. Now they're going to go on him. He's probably going to have to use defensively right here. Or maybe he's just going to die. Yeah, Bresh just has to body block.
Well, he finds Dreadline stun and more stuns after that. Now trying to get out here.
Ult the opposite direction.
And the Void Rush, some carry is taken along for the ride with Azuki. Now into the zombie form, going to clear out the wave here. Well, Indigo's just going to kill him. In the zombie form as well, so he won't even get to do that. And now Baron
really
spawning.
Tough position for them. Yeah, with Baron spawning, do they have Blue Trinket coming up for Sivir soon, or is that a regular ward for her? Yeah, she does have it in 10 seconds.
Oh, flash, okay.
Okay,
Hop
gets
in.
out of the ult.
And Shockpool no longer has that ultimate available. So now Baron getting about 9,000 HP. Starting
Olaf
to get
does
taken
have
down.
Flash.
He's already stolen 2 objectives in this game. He stole a Baron last game. Can he do it again? Well, the answer is he's not even going to try. Baron going to take it over here for Akuma.
He probably shouldn't. If he tries and he dies and other members get chased down, they just lose the game right here. They have to take a fight while the enemy team's Baron, probably. If they just give up more than one inhibitor, the game's going to be over anyway.
That's pretty fair. I mean, well, I wouldn't even say more than one inhibitor because you have Sivir. But 3 is definitely it, I think. 2 you could probably defend, but I think 3 is probably too much.
Cassio's wave clear isn't that good. So, like, it's good, obviously, compared to most champions, but they're much better, like, wave clear mid laners. Like, even an Echo, for example, would be better, like, in most situations, because he can clear a lot safer by just throwing Q, provided he has enough AP, obviously, to two-shot the minions. But, Sivir can clear 1 lane, probably, really well.
Well, she can clear 2 if they're both coming into the base at the same angle. She can run in between them. But that's even tough to do. And if the enemy team's there,
right.
then it's tough.
I mean, like, if they're in the base and the minions are bouncing between each other.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But the enemy team should...
I mean, if you're at that point, they're probably just going to wipe you anyway, so...
Right, they're going to pressure you. If it's some, like, base trade scenario, then that's a good idea for Sivir to do. Looks like... Unfortunately, Ivy's in a position where they want to contest this Drake, but they're now going to see a full team knocking on their door. They either have to take this fight right now, or give up the inhib.
Well, looks like the plan is to give up the inhib. No commitment yet from Ivy Gaming.
Scion has flanked. Maybe the call is to fight here?
Yeah, Azuki coming in from the backside. He's ulted now. He's looking to go in for the fight. He finds a knock, but only onto Brash. Play back onto Akuma Brash. Now in the back line goes some carry, flashes in, finds knock the Cassiopeia, and it looks like it's all over. Azuki trying to take him up in the front line, but Ivy Gaming have already been taken down. Just Bobby and Hexmas left. They're both going into the fountain here, and it looks like while Azuki's in the zombie form, Ivy Gaming are going to be on the losing end of this one. Akuma come back after a rough game 1. Shockpool diving into the fountain. They pull him back. 2 kills. Double kill, in fact, for Indigo. And that'll be game 2 over to Akuma. 1-1 is a series. And Akuma strike back with a convincing win in game 2.
Yeah, another wit's end for Shockpool. I think he just loves the item. Even if it's not necessarily the best pick there. Against 3 AD. Scion does a decent amount of magic damage. But yeah, much more convincing win this game than the last one was for... Ivy, but I think they just have to change it up a little bit. They should do, again, more of a direct engage type of thing. Hexmas tried. He tried to get some steals there. He did pretty well. Bobby ended up scaling pretty well, but overall, as a unit, like, they weren't taking their only engage option, which was Scion, into and just ulting onto them. He always had to use it as an escape. That might have been just the counter pick from Gnar, being Gnar into Scion and making him play on the back foot the whole game, but they need something with a little more versatility if they want to draft something similar to what they did and win.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to lose game 1, That's how you win game 2, to come back and be like, all right, well, this is really our series here, guys. So we'll see how Ivy Gaming respond now. Both teams have gone and lost a game, and now we'll have to see how Ivy Gaming respond to a loss. But Akuma clearly come back strong after losing the first game of the series. So we'll see how game 3 goes. Now with the series tied 1-1, we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry we didn't have the pro draft for you. Unfortunately, Age King was busy getting some water, and then we didn't get the pro draft link, and whatever. We're in the client now. We'll see the draft anyway. So, from what we understand, I believe there's a Nautilus in this one. I think the Nautilus was first picked. So, it looks like Ivy Gaming are trying to keep that away from Brash. I would imagine.
At least in this game. Should be a little spicy.
The Lee Sin as well here. So,
I'm hydrated.
yeah, talking about, early game playmakers, some early game junglers we've been seeing. We've seen Olaf, the Jarvan. We now get the Lee Sin, who's also quite good at that. And then a complete switch in the top side here. A Camille versus Renekton lane, as opposed to we've been seeing a bit more tanks, bruisers, kinds of things. You see a bit of the GP. But now we get Camille Renekton in the top side, so much more aggressive there. A lot more damage coming out of that one.
At Tuller Lull. I'll hold you to it. He said if Ivy wins the series, he'll buy them all a mystery gift. Alright. I called it out.
Well, hopefully he's a man of his word. We've got Orianna versus Syndra in the mid lane here, and now Kaisa in the bot lane versus, it looks like, I assume it's actually Ash Braum, and Nautilus will be going for Brash. So it actually wasn't denied from him. It was actually picked by him, it looks like. At least that's what we're that's the impression we're under.
So Ivy did exactly what I wanted them to do with draft. Like, if they want to win this game, and they have a really engage heavy team. Like they had the first game. Ashow can literally engage from across the map, though it's not a sure thing. It can follow up on what is a sure thing, which is Camille ult. You press Camille ult, that person cannot leave. And that can set up for either Orianna, Jarvan, Ashe follow-up. And there goes the wombo right there. And not to mention, Braum's ult will get you for sure if you're in Jarvan's ult most of the time. You can get about like 70% of the area covered, so you could hide in a corner and escape it if you're still in the thing. Kaisa has the tools to survive a Jarvan ult, because she can ult instantly, unless the timing is so impeccable from Orianna Jarvan combo. But she can just like auto insta ult to kind of avoid it. We'll see. Should be interesting. If she goes AP, she can fit an hourglass too. Should be probably the choice here.
So we'll keep our eyes on the build path for the Kaisa as well, and make sure he's gonna stay safe in those fights, because while you say you can ult instantly, very powerful ability, you have to actually click those buttons, and sometimes people aren't quite quick enough on that. So we'll have to make sure he is. TP gonna be taken by Kaisa at the last minute here. So Indigo Griffin and Shockpool all gonna have TP for them So 3 TPs to 1. Ivy Gaming only have Azuki with the teleport there. Orianna, Ashe taking heal barrier. So Captain Ezekiel and Bobby not going with the global pan. So maybe Akuma looking to make some plays in the mid game here, potentially get some more lane pressure with those TPs. But definitely looks like Akuma are going to play a bit more towards that early portion of the game, whereas the mid game picks from Ivy are going to be incredibly strong.
Yeah, Ivy's mid game team fights are like a sure thing with a lot of potential to pretty much team wipe. Camille into Renekton is the only thing I'm kind of afraid of. If Shockpool plays it right, he could even solo kill Camille, but with jungle intervention, they have the stronger 2v2 as well. Like Lee Sin, Renekton can probably 2v2 Camille and Jarvan 9 out of 10 times, come out on top. Just the guaranteed stun from Renekton like confirms the Q from Lee Sin. So many things that could go wrong for them there. Camille can escape pretty well, but once she's stunned, I mean, if you're stunned by a empowered Fury W from Renekton, you can't cast your huge escape ability onto a wall and bounce away. Same thing goes for Jarvan. So we'll see how much respect they give him there.
Yep. So anything you want to mention before we go into this? You said 3-1 prediction. Akuma Sabers in this series over Ivy Gaming Black. Now 1-1. You still sticking by that? Obviously I asked you that last game, but now Akuma Sabers have 1-1, so a little bit more likely. Any thoughts on this game and in the series overall?
Yeah, still a 3-1. I do have hope for Ivy though. It's definitely not guaranteed Akuma by any means. Ivy has a much better team comp this time. Ezekiel showed to be really strong on that Orianna, as well as Hexmist on the Jarvan, and the other 3 champions complement them really well. So I think this can be This is going to be a good match. Much closer than last game, most likely.
Alrighty, and with that, we'll go to a short break here. We're back for game number 3 in just a moment. Ivy and Black versus Akuma Sabers, 1-1 in the series, all tied up. So obviously every game counts, but it's especially important to see who can get to themselves to match point. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, everyone. Ready for game number 3 here. Ivy Game Black, Akuma Sabers, all tied up 1-1. And again, 5-man setup here. No initial invades.
Akuma feeling very strong. Sending on my way pings at the IV Nexus. We'll see how that turns out for them in the next 40 minutes or so.
Well, I mean, they could get there. It doesn't mean they're going to win, you know.
True, very true.
It could be a, I mean, especially if they got a Singed or an Udyr, you just go run straight at the Nexus.
Yeah.
Little proxy farming.
Minions have
But
spawned.
Akuma, they've been known to talk a little smack here, so I wonder if they can back that one up. I mean, they've already lost one game. I'm sure if we had asked them, they would have said easy 3-0. So
Guaranteed.
I'm impressed that they've come back. They've had that mental fortitude now in game 2. They come back, big win for them by a significant margin. So we'll see how they fare here in game 3 and see if they can back up all that trash talk they've had so far this season.
Yeah, they're versing a much more versatile team. I know we spoke about this in Champs Split, but Ivy can engage a lot better than they could last game, and they also can disengage better. Like, the only thing they're missing is the Thresh Lantern, but in addition they have Braum, who can pretty much prevent the majority of Syndra / Kaisa damage if he positions properly for a brief amount of time. Or is it 3 full seconds? Yeah, 3 full seconds.
Precision is the only standard that matters.
All right, so we have this Renekton Camille matchup. It's not that hard to say that. We have this Renekton Camille matchup here, which obviously is going to be a bit more exciting than some of the other matchups we've seen so far. I think there should be a lot of fighting here and potentially some jungle interferences. Both these junglers are on the top side early on, and maybe they're going to make a trip up there. Some pings going down trying to figure out where they are. It looks like they know the Lee Sin's top side. So Ivy Gaming should be prepared for this, but Camille is pushed pretty far up, and here comes the Lee Sin gank. Kazuki and probably he's got the hook shot, I would imagine, level 2.
No, he actually doesn't. Looking at his abilities, he went Q then W. He does not have his hook shot.
Lee Sin doesn't go in for the gank. The ward spotted out, and Kazuki started to walk away.
Spot him with that sweeper?
Well, now the jungles are going to convert here. Shockpool going in. He's already lost a lot of health, but Nizuki gonna hook shot. Not. Oh,
There
here
it
comes the
is.
knockup.
Flash
First
confirmed.
blood flashing from Hexmist. Now some carry in a 2v1 certainly has to back out. Nicely done there by Zuki and Hexmist.
Yeah, Hexmist knew Renekton had the flash there. Just held the flash, confirmed it with his EQ. Lee Sin chasing him down here though. Okay, should be able to get out now. That's really good for Camille. She used all 3 of her corrupting pot charges super early on just to get the pressure so that Renekton was killable during that gank, and she survived. Now let's see if she invests. She's gonna have to invest in more combat stats, obviously.
Gonna go for that Tiamat item.
Yep, going
Eventually
towards
here.
Hydra.
So we have the Lee Sin on the top side here. The Jarvan, though, heading out towards the bot side of the map. The Rift Scuttle is up. Lee Sin moving towards that. So we'll see if either jungler runs into each other once again there on the bot side. As Ivy out to a small lead to start things off.
Another crab for some carry.
Oh,
that's
actually,
about
Azuki just finds the kill with a leg sweep.
Whoa.
My goodness, I didn't think that was going to kill Shockpool, but it did. Max damage there, and able to find it. 2 kills now for Azuki after taking an amazing trade and just somehow gets the kill with a W there at the end.
A little bit of lead goes a long way, it would seem. That's Renekton without teleport. He's going to lose so much farm. His entire wave pretty much is going to be dead by the time he gets there. Oh, it does have the cannon minion. That does help him actually. He'll get the XP for 3 of the casters.
Do have that
Yeah.
Ocean Drake spawning very soon. Yeah.
Finishing the Tiamat for Camille in the top lane means that he will have complete wave prio now over the Renekton.
Yeah, Renekton with a refillable potion, a control word, his starting item, and a longsword. Like, to a fully completed Tiamat. You know, it's just a complete difference in terms of combat effectiveness now. With a
800 gold.
a large,
That's literally
yeah, a large item advantage now.
almost half of his gold in advance to him.
Yeah, so Shockpool gonna go in and take a small trade there, but like we said, not really in a position to fight against her. Although once he gets the Dominus, maybe there's a way he can win the fight.
Yeah, his ultimate definitely is strong in the 1v1.
So Ocean Drake has spawned. Neither team made a move up there. Jarvan on the top side. Lee Sin making his way up there. 5 minutes, 45 seconds in, roughly. As now Azuki with the hook shot. Gonna miss Ward in the brush. Gonna find the slow, and now using the Hectic Ultimatum, Shockpool finds a stun and gonna pull back towards the turret.
So it's gonna force him back. Lee Sin maybe just catches the wave. So what I would have liked to see Lee Sin do here actually is path to the Ocean Drake and have called Syndra to actually stay there. Because that would have been a free dragon. Because they saw Jarvan on this ward towards the top lane. Like, and they can't take the 2v2 anymore. Like, if all things were even, I would take Renekton and Lee Sin, as we talked about earlier, but at this point they lose it. However, now that Camille wasted her ultimate, maybe when Renekton's 6, they win a 2v2 without that.
Possibly. Azuki gonna walk into the enemy jungle here. Finds the control word in the tri-brush. Takes someone out. Some carry over the wall. Finds the Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike now. Going on to Azuki here. Again, Azuki no ultimate. Hook shot, though. Finds stun to some carry. And now Brash coming up. Flashes across, but misses the initial hook. But he gets the auto and the shutdown there for the Lee Sin. They find the kill on the Camille. Dragon being taken right now by Hexmist and Wild Turtle. WH Turtle here. Made that mistake too many times now. It's WH Turtle, and helping out with that dragon now, as the ocean will go over.
I'm going to say on the map, worth for Ivy. It is good that they got a shutdown, kind of evens at the top lane, but an early Ocean Drake is personally my favorite to get for the team because it's just such a foolproof way of winning lanes that are generally even. You just straight up out-sustain them. Some carry did take the liberty of counter-jungling, so it's a little bit back for him there, but we'll see.
Well, if you literally take the exact same trade the enemy does, and you take even trades, you win. You know what I mean? Like, that's the power of the Ocean Drake.
Right,
if you go
right.
even, you win.
Right, you have an advantage.
Yeah.
Just for existing, and being at the same rate of your opponent.
Yeah. Now Azuki finds the hook shot. Dominance used by Shockpool, and Azuki gonna back out here. So ultimate a little bit wasted by Shockpool unless he's able to find and engage here in the last couple seconds.
I suppose you could argue a similar thing for Infernal Drake, though it's not nearly as impactful early, but like you technically just do 4% more damage or whatever it is. And
Well, it's
yeah,
not 4% more damage because
4%,
base damage
yeah.
is.
True.
So it's a little bit different with the Infernal Dragon because the way percents work, and it's also boosting your AP and AD. It's not just 4% of your damage is increased, you know.
True,
so it's a
true,
little
yeah,
bit different.
4% ADAP.
Yeah. So especially if, say you're a tank who hasn't built a single AD or AP and you didn't take it in runes, you're actually not getting anything from the Infernal Dragon. And those champions like the supports who maybe have a little bit of AP or AD, especially with the new support items, you're getting 4%, but you're not actually increasing your damage by 4%, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, especially like on-hit AD carries as well. As you get a Hex only in the top side here. Shockpool comes back with a stun, but he's going to immediately get shut down. Azuki, with the help from Hexmist, finds another kill. Third of the game. And the third death on to Shockpool here. So, the CS even, but the kills certainly not. And now a plating probably going to be taken to the top side.
Yeah, so the hook shot is like such a guaranteed form of CC on top of his Hextech ultimatum being a guaranteed form of not letting them escape. It's just such a, like, I know I keep going back to it, but it's such a guaranteed form of engagement, which I feel they need.
Oh, and AKM going in here. Underneath the turret, they find the dive, the kill onto Bobby. Indio credited with that one, but here comes Captain Ezekiel. The Shockwave going to find some carry here. He's caught underneath the turret. He's going to go down now. Brash maybe can find a kill on the turret. It looks like he will die here. I think he was damaged by someone. Bobby going to be credited with that kill onto Brash. And now Shockpool and Azuki here fighting in the top side here. Level advantage right now for Azuki. Shockpool proccing the Conqueror, but Azuki not able to get the second hook shot in.
Jarvan's on the top side. I don't think he can die, but he might pop the...
Yep, Rift Herald is available here, and platings are there to be taken. Rift Herald summoned over the wall here, and Azuki and Hexmist looking to go for the turret, potentially dive Dominus. They find the stun here onto Hexmist, and a lot of damage done by Shockpool, but the Rift Herald charges. The platings are gone. Just one left here. 10 minutes in. Nice job by Ivy, but here comes Griffin coming up from the mid lane. Looking for the stun perhaps onto Hexmist, but the EQ flash. No, he gets stunned here by the Scat of the Week, and Shockpool and Griffin combined for a kill here. Has some carry on the red buff, farming away. But a nice rotation by Griffin. They find a kill back.
Yeah, that was a very difficult escape for Jarvan to make at that point after the Syndrome. The only way he lives there is if he EQs, like, to dodge an ability and doesn't instantly use it, but it's much easier said than done. I just want to mention, there's a TP coming bot. Before I do that, there's a 3v2 in the bot lane. Ping's coming out, they must know it.
Yep, hook gonna land, dredge line there for Brash on a turtle. He's flashing out. The shield gonna buy a bit of room here, but the Scatter Week found on the turtle. Flash in, Indigo gets the kill onto Turtle. Now some carry here does not hit the Sonic Wave. So a nice gank there, TP used. They get one kill, but onto the support. Azuki still working in the top side here. Down level is Shockpool. Going to try and clear out these minions, and he does a good job. No team out for him early on. Went for the Phage.
Yeah, pretty...
So the item advantage here is still pretty big for the Camille. But the Renekton not completely out of the game just yet. We've seen Renektons from behind come back, and Shockpool, you know, he has actually been the one who has played Renekton, fallen behind a bit early, but then been able to sort of claw his way back in the game. As Captain Ezekiel, yep, gonna find the Shockwave here. Griffin uses Scatter the Weak, but the Phase Rush just allows Captain Ezekiel to stay on him. Needs a bit more damage here. Flash in from some carry, though, and Griffin flashing away. Captain Ezekiel flashes out. Everyone flashing, but it looks like no one gonna die.
Yeah. I guess net win for Ezekiel, because there was 2 flashes to his 1, right? Oh,
yeah,
Griffin
2 to 1.
ult, so in the next exact exchange, it might be advantage for Griffin.
Overall, a positive play, though. 1 flash for 2 is good. As we get the Mountain Drake started up here. And now the steal? No, knocked away. Well done there. The kick out, and some carry will get the kill and the dragon.
Yeah, Jarvan tried to do something really good there, which was Q as he was getting hit by the Nautilus ultimate, which would have made him get in there. But he did it slightly early, which led to him, you know, getting knocked up by the Nautilus ult and the Lee Sin kick.
Yep. kicked away, and the dragon goes over. If you want to just prevent someone from stealing an objective, play Lee Sin. They can just kick the enemy jungler away.
Such a good feeling when you do that. Or have an Alistar on your team who could press W.
Oh, that too is good.
Two really good objective control type people.
A professional is marked by
So anyway, I was talking about Shockpool and how he's been able to come back from bad situations as Renekton. The problem is he did that when Spear of Shojin was still a thing. He's going to dash out now from a rotation up top side for Captain Ezekiel. First turret goes over to Zuki and Captain Ezekiel there, and Shockpool again. That was a Spear of Shojin. That was a much stronger Renekton. He's gone for it again here, but the same tools aren't available for Renekton this time around. As Ash Arrow sails through, okay.
Ash Arrow just taking a stroll.
Just fishing for it.
You miss 100% of the shots you do not take.
Yeah, but you also miss the shots you don't hit, so. As Cataclysm comes through, and Griffin now going to pull back by the Shockwave. Captain Ezekiel with a kill. That is not a great feeling when you get jumped on by 3 people out of nowhere.
Yep, they're going back to the guaranteed engage. You have a Hextech Ultimatum and Jarvan Cataclysm. Not much you could do against that, even if she did have the flash.
No way to
Again,
get
it's
out,
gonna
they
be
get the
tank
kill.
Jarvan.
First death as well for the Syndrome. And thanks to that earlier play with the flash that went down.
Yeah, it ends up paying off in a little bit this time.
The game right now is only about 300 gold apart, though, between the teams. I mean, in positions, you have leads here and there, and a big lead in top lane for the Camille. Mid lane, pretty even. Bot lane, though, has the advantage for the Kaisa here. So there's advantages in different places, but right now, the net sort of thing is even. We're actually at 24,000 gold, 24,200, 100 for both sides here. So really, the overall game is dead even. It just position-wise, there's a few different advantages here and there. As now, Turtle not going to get caught out. Some carry not able to get him.
Yeah, so in the late game split push, like right now I don't see Renekton just straight up coming back, but he's not that weak in a 1v1 late game.
Well,
Right
Camille going
now-
to try and
oh,
1v1 Shockpool here. He's got a level advantage.
missed the
Shockpool going to
hook
find the
shot.
stun and then just hop away. Yeah, no hook shot means no real kill. Ash Arrow sails wide in the bot lane.
2 seconds, it's up. It should be up. She doesn't want to chase it because she doesn't have the vision. If you look at Akuma's vision in the bot lane, they literally have the only vision in the entire river, with multiple pinks in that area as well. So the vision deficit for Ivy is actually prevented Azuki, sorry, for going for that kill there. He probably could have got it with the follow-up hook shot. It was up in 1 second.
16 minutes in here. Again, the gold very, very similar. Rift Herald up. We had a dragon spawning about a minute and a half in the bot side, of course. And the mid laners both rotating down the river potentially, but no, neither going to commit to it. And the junglers are going to back off as well here. So looks like Azuki trying to steal away a red buff in the enemy jungle, and it looks like he will be able to do so. Dredge line lands here on a WA turtle, but the Braum shield absorbing much of the damage.
It's another feels very bad for a jungler when you're out CSing, but then the enemy top laner starts stealing your camps.
Yeah, and Azuki over the wall. Hextech moment on a Griffin. Shockwave onto him, and Azuki gets the kill. Griffin and Captain Ezekiel again combined for the kill, and Shockpool TP's in. Unfortunately, not a great situation, but able to slice and dice out of there.
Yeah, really good. Knew that he could not possibly stand there for more than a half second and survive, so he gets the heck on out of there. So, the thing about Syndra here, like into this comp, without built-in mobility, it's just gonna keep happening unless her team is all there and they're fighting to the death. They're just gonna focus her down in any gank and kill her. She needs a stopwatch, which she just did purchase, or some other beefy type defense tools.
Certainly. The Triforce completed for the Camille and the Tiamat, so those big power spikes. But certainly still very squishy.
Oriana's sitting on 1,200 gold. They probably don't want to fight for this, but it might be late on the play.
Well, Hexmas has stolen a lot of objectives. Going in, not going to get it this time. The Lee Sin once again secures the dragon. The Dragon Rage kick, Hexmas dies. And stopwatch by Brash here, so he'll be sans that cooldown. But a 1-for-1 overall. Both junglers die, but some carry smites this one. So after a couple objectives lost in the first few games, he's been able to smite the last couple in this one.
Yeah. Lee Sin also has much better secure than like Rek'Sai, which he played for the other games. Like his execute with the Q smite is way better than Rek'Sai using one ability or auto attack at the same time as smiting.
Should just play
And of
Nunu
course-
then.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the only thing we worried about, Nunu's probably A1. Kha'Zix is up there too, though, with an isolated Q.
Yeah. But then you're also playing Nunu, so.
Also Cho'Gath, let's not forget him.
Cho'Gath's good. But then you're also playing
Yeah.
Cho'Gath in the jungle,
Yeah.
so.
Well, we've seen Cho'Gath in the top lane a decent amount, right?
Yeah, we saw Baron steal Cho'Gath the other day. So maybe you just play Cho'Gath in top lane. Maybe everyone should learn how to solo kill people on Cho'Gath.
Was it AKM that had that guy, Legoat James, who played Cho'Gath a lot?
I don't was it that AKM? Well, the Cho'Gath player I'm thinking of was from last night, but he had a Cataclysm here in the side lane. Hookshot comes in, but he gets stopped by the Scav of the Weekend. Hexmist goes down to the Unleashed Power. Griffin with a massive play there, completely shutting out Azuki and Hexmist.
Yeah, well played with that. I'm not sure if she could cast the Hextech Ultimatum, though. If she casted that...
Well,
Not
she
if
went
she
in with a
casted
Hookshot,
that.
and then the Scatter of the Week interrupted it. So I think that she was mid animation, and she couldn't cast the Hextech Ultimatum.
Well played by Syndra. That, like, you're living on a knife's edge with Syndra. Like, that's her only tool to survive. But if two people come from different angles, she actually can't protect herself from both. Like, she'd have to flash away. That's her only way to
Ash
survive.
Arrow gonna hit. No, it sails wide in the top side. Never
Oh,
mind.
Close.
Well, and Azuki maybe
cigar.
get caught in the side lane here in the bot lane. Shockpool gonna flash away from Turtle here, but now Azuki caught in the alcove. The Resonating Strike gonna miss. Or Sonic Wave, rather. As now Azuki kicked back by the Dragon Rage. He's trying to heal up. Gonna get some damage onto some carry. Hookshot out.
He has flash. He just should flash that. Yep.
And he's gonna flash out there, but Baron being
trying to do a
taken
Baron
now
now.
in the topside river. Hexmist,
This is
and he's
super
level
risky.
9. Sun carry level 10, but he's in the bot side, so no smite steal possible. And now the depth charge used onto the Ash, flash out from Brash, and Hookshot already used the Dominus, but he's maybe going to come back in. 5,000 HP on the Baron, and they've just got to back off here. Dreadflame going to land here onto Turtle.
really have to-
He flashes
You're
out.
gonna bite off way
Hexmist
too
going in,
much.
can't find Indigo. Shockpool in the front line. He'll be taken down. No, he actually is able to dash out just in time. Shockwave going to land, but only onto Brash here. And now the Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike in. Some carry gonna get stunned up here by like gust of blows, and some carry gonna flash out. He will survive. In the end, the Captain Ezekiel, he flashes too. Everyone just barely surviving with a sliver of health. Indigo flashing in. He'll finally get the kill onto both the support and the mid lane. Captain Ezekiel and Turtle dying. A double kill for Indigo, and AKM somehow win that situation. They had a jungler bot lane, but they managed to get him up topside in time, and the Baron survives, and now Akuma looking to take it. Azuki hitting the turret in the mid lane, but the wave cleared by Shockpool.
Had to use a Rift Herald before it died. Yeah, really well played by Akuma there. I think Kai'Sa really pushed her limits to get those last two kills. Lee Sin kind of baited the Orianna, but Orianna would have escaped if Kai'Sa did not play that perfectly.
So now we have a very strong Kai'Sa after the Ashe was doing decently well now, but the Kai'Sa started to pull away in the CS department. 4-0-3 on that champion and looking to get her third item soon while the Ashe is still working on 2. And then you have a Syndra who's already started to get pretty strong, and now Shockpool and Azuki. That matchup's still going rather poorly overall, but Renekton's not completely useless at the moment. He's done a good job to get himself back into the game somewhat.
Yeah, also him matching the Tiamat means he has like similar wave prio. Like wave clearing speed. Got a dragon coming up in 30. Renekton's gonna barely make it on time. Kai'Sa won't make it on time. They might just opt to go for the Baron though. They can pressure it.
True. They could
This
do
time-
that as well.
This time Ivy should kind of have a little bit of an idea. They see that she pushed it and then went over there. I don't think they're happy with this trade, so maybe they don't really know what's going on here.
Akuma is going for the Baron. They've got 3 men on it. Indigo, Some Carry, and Brash all trying to knock down this Baron.
Oh, they're definitely gonna get it.
Griffin here.
No.
as well. So 4-man, and no one really knows. Doesn't look like Ivy had any clue that Akuma were just taking that Baron. They'll trade a dragon, but certainly not a great trade. So Baron over, and now Akuma going to take the topside jungle as well, and potentially some turrets here on the top side. The outer turret still standing.
Yeah, if that was a 4th drag, I'd consider maybe worth, but other than that, or an Elder, obviously, but definitely not worth. We'll see if we can make something out of it. We're able to kill a turret bot.
So Zuki staying looking for maybe the 1v1 and Shockpool here. Same level here, but an item advantage for Azuki.
They have 2 teleports on Akuma, though. Okay, one of them was just used mid.
Griffin coming in. Has
2 teleports
joined the
isn't
crew.
gonna help.
And now we got a turret dead in the mid lane as well. So 4 turrets now down, and Shockpool's getting cut off by Azuki. He's coming in from behind. Hookshot misses, though, and Shockpool just sidesteps, let the minions just hit the turret. And AKM, Akuma, doing a great job on this Baron play.
Yeah, they're pulling Ivy apart, honestly. They haven't even attempted to contest any of the objectives. Maybe they're happy just giving out these inners. Okay, they are pulling
Ash
the
Arrow
trigger.
gonna hit in the front line. Big Cataclysm from Hexmith. Shockpool, though, putting pressure on the back line of Ivy Gaming. Finds 1 kill and now goes down. Azuki trying to run himself in the enemy team's back line. Akuma kill him, though. And right now, 3 members left for Ivy Gaming. A great stopwatch from Bobby to survive the Unleashed power. Hook in the front line, and now that's Turtle dead. Great job by Brash to spell the death sentence for the enemy support. And it looks like Turret will go down in a 1-team fight for the side of Akuma with the Baron. Looks like they've taken control of this game.
Yeah, they probably get the inhib off this too. I think Bobby needs to leave. He doesn't have his flash. He's guaranteed dead if they hit him with anything here.
So now the inhibitor will die as well in the bot lane. As the crystal fractures, and now Akuma get out here after a Baron power play into a team fight win. Inhibitor down in the bot lane, a couple turrets as well around the map, and their gold lead has started to grow. And even the top lane, which was once even further apart, only down 1,000 gold, and the rest of the positions up significantly everywhere.
Yeah, so a big thing there was they didn't do their combo properly. Like, Jarvan ulted in. Orianna was, I believe, was too far to cast the ultimate, and she actually never got it off for the entirety of the fight. She was CC'd a little bit after, never found a good moment to use it. Like, I believe there were 2 targets that would have been in range as Jarvan landed, and that may have turned the fight, or at least made it a 2 for 3 as opposed to a 1 for 3. Looks like Camille's looking for something in the top lane here.
Yep, Shockpool gonna find a stun there, a bit of damage, not much else done. So now we have an Akuma in control of this one. It looks like they had a little bit of a fun in game 1, but now are taking this thing seriously as we get a fight in the side lane. Shockpool and Azuki in it. Hexagon win, now times out. Shockpool gets stunned by the hook shot, now flashing in. Azuki gets the stun with the second part of his Q. Massive play, a Some Carry flashing in. Dragon Kick into kill. And now Dragon Rage Kick. And he's in Some Carry getting knocked by Hex Mist, and here comes Griffin. Stun gonna miss. Cataclysm comes down. Indigo here gonna put damage on. Hex Mist has fallen. Now Turtle, maybe gonna call the wall. Brash flashes it. Oh, he found the Ash. Huge play by Brash. A depth charge also finds Captain Ezekiel, and Indigo going on to him. That's gonna be a kill there, and Turtle going down. This is gonna be a team wipe. And that's an ace. That's a TP into the bot lane here by the Kaisa. It looks like AKM want to go for the end here. They've got a super minions in the bot lane, and only 2 Nexus towers between them and their prize, which they pinged a few moments ago, about 26 minutes ago, and it looks like their pings were on target here. Akuma going to take game number 3.
Kaisa coming up huge at 6-0 and 5. Not a single death.
Azuki and Hexmist are here. Hexmist, though, will fall as soon as he respawns. Brash going to go down to Azuki, but the Nexus under fire, and Akuma do secure it. Game number 3 over to Akuma Sabers. So well done there. The series goes 2-1 over to the team that lost in game number 1. Akuma had a little bit of fun in game 1, and now are really buckled down, ready to take the series here. And after that last win and the one in game number 2, that's kind of the Akuma I was expecting to see. Ivy Gaming hanging with him for a little bit and then eventually just being caught on the back foot and falling. Not surprised by this result here. Was surprised so much by game one. Do you agree with that? Like, how do you have an explanation for what happened in game one after seeing these last two games?
Yeah, I mean, Akuma definitely had to have dropped the ball in game one a little bit, but Akuma kind of just got unlucky in that last team fight in their very first game, where it was pretty much a Baron's deal as their elder expired, which was like a perfect storm of bad opportunity for them. But in this game, a lot of it was good execution from AKM, but also poor execution from Ivy. And a couple of those fights, like people didn't get off key abilities. Oriana this time missed a shockwave in one of those. Um, Braum was very difficult to execute here. Like I like the pick against Syndra and Kaisa, but he didn't really block much damage. First of all, with his E, and most of his ults did not find multiple members like he would have wanted or would have liked. So maybe this time they have to draft something a little bit more consistent than Braum if they're gonna go a similar comp, which I think they should. Like the Camille got ahead, Jarvan fell super behind, obviously, and Ash actually got a lead early too. If we look at damage numbers, like Ash did this third most on the team actually. Camille did more damage than anyone in the entire game, but more than double any of her teammates. So I think they have to spread the wealth a little bit more in this upcoming game and draft engage like they did, but draft something in the support role as well that can have a little more impact than Braum uh, for Turtle.
All right, well, that will take a quick break here before we come back to game number 4. Akuma Sabers now have match point. We'll see if Ivy Gaming have that mental fortitude and the ability to come back here in the series down 2-1. This is the last chance for him. One more game and it's over here. So Akuma Sabers looking to go to the finals here. They've got one more game to win, and then they can move on. But it's not over yet. Ivy Gaming still have a chance, but it's the last straw. Otherwise, it's lights out. So we'll take a quick break. Back for game number 4 in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Akuma Sabers here versus Ivy Gaming. Ivy Gaming actually decided to go for the red side this game, which is interesting. Been blue side every single game for the first 3 games here, but now they've got the side selection, are going red side here. And to start things off, we've got Lux, Oriana, Felius banned from Akuma, and Ivy with Kled, Rumble, Rek'Sai, and Akali first pick out of Akuma, now on the blue side for the first time.
Yeah, wanting a change. You know, they feel they're on their heels now. You know, they kind of have to change something up. They opted for it to be the side they're on.
So Nautilus going to be grabbed now by Ivy Gaming, been a crucial champion for both sides in this particular series. Been common throughout the playoffs here, but Nautilus has been a very, very common pick.
Hotly contested.
Hotly
for sure.
contested, exactly.
Gragas. Do I smell a Gragas Yasuo?
Potentially, we'll see. I don't know if that would be the immediate pick here, but I guess, you know, picking up Yasuo is decent here because you could potentially flex it if you want to get crazy with Nautilus mid. You could also just put it in the bot lane.
With Nautilus, it's good with Nautilus too. Guaranteed R.
Yeah. And then you could also, so you could flex it in a couple different places here. And also, if you pick it, then that makes the Ornn pick a little bit less desirable. And a few other things are not quite as good, but we'll see here as Gragas picked up. And then Jarvan for Akuma Sabers. And now looking for their next pick here. Probably going to be a support with Nautilus already picked up. So we'll see what they go for here. Nope, going to get the 80 carry first instead. So the Xayah now to try and, you know, stay safe from the Nautilus and the Gragas.
They don't have a support pick this time, so it could be a Rakan. Obviously, a pretty standard lane there. Perhaps Ivy wants last pick Yasuo if they're going to pick him. Or as a counter pick. We'll see. It's going to be a Syndra for Ivy this time. Into an Akali, I'm not sure that's going to go. It's definitely a skill matchup. Akali could certainly outplay. But then so can Syndra. But if it's top, we are yet to know yet.
So Mordekaiser looks to be the next one. Going to be the Mordekaiser ban here. So yeah, Nautilus, Gragas, Syndra here up against Akali, Jarvan, Xayah. Gangplank ban. So common that Gangplank and Mordekaiser have been banned. After game 1, it was like both teams were like, we're just going to get rid of those guys. Not going to mess with them.
As well as the Felios. They still respect the Oriana again. They don't want to see it. Okay, there's the Rakan ban drawn by a simple picking of a Xayah.
And Kai'Sa as well here. So some bot lane targets after the 2 top laners. And now, what good supports are left here? I mean, Braum could be an option once again, although it's not great this game. Good against the Syndra, but Gragas and Nautilus, it's not really amazing against them. In particular, it's just mediocre there. As actually Caitlyn going to be banned instead of the Kai'Sa, so Kai'Sa's still an option here, which isn't terrible with the Nautilus. A pretty good lane, in fact, with the Kai'Sa Nautilus.
Certainly is. This next pick is going to matter a lot what they reveal in terms of what their comp's trying to do. I mean, they definitely have Engage as it stands. They also have Disengage. Ezreal. Is it going to be an Ezreal?
That'd be an interesting pickup. Yep, going to be the Ezreal.
It's pretty weak in the meta because of the changes to Klepto, obviously, since a while back. That would be impressive.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing with happened with Ezreal is that he was like, all right, Klepto all the time. And then it was like, all right, well, Klepto's gone. What do you do? He's like, Conqueror. I found another keystone instantaneously. And then they nerfed Conqueror. So he had just like both his keystones that he had in the span of like a couple weeks just completely removed.
Yeah.
Well, not removed.
There's Omni
but...
Stone, which I've seen some people do, but... And of course, you could always go Fleet. Or
but then you're also playing Omni Stone, so...
Right.
So,
which is
Ziggs Braum, though, Akuma Sabers, that's going to be their pick. So Braum into the Ziggs mid lane. So this should be a Akali top, as Ivy Gaming now have their last pick.
I will say, Ziggs is one of my favorite champions. I wish he were played more. They're playing a Riven. Very interesting. Riven's probably fine into Akali. If you get him in the combo, even if he's in his shroud, you still can deal your damage to him. Interesting. Well, they have very high damage run you over comp, Ivy, with pretty decent engage. Gragas is gonna have to do well for sure if they're gonna have these good engages. Ezreal has the tools to survive against what would otherwise be very difficult. Syndra, I'm worried about though.
So this is a Riven, correct? They haven't done anything in chat, it looks like.
Yeah, yep, looks like it.
So that's a surprising, but we get Riven into a Kali, I'd assume, with Syndra versus the Ziggs in the mid lane here, and then Gragas Jarvan in the jungle, and then a Xayah Braum versus Ezreal Nautilus here. So excited to see the Riven. We'll see if Ivy Gaming can make it work. Obviously, down a game in the series here, lost 2 in a row. Going to try something unique here with Azuki on the Riven. We'll see if it works out, but going to be up against the Shock Pool on the Akali. So a different look for both these top laners.
Yeah, the Riven Syndra combo could be devastating, and like if either of them hits a stun, the damage linked with the other one will pretty much be any person on the other team dead except for the tank. They're ready.
They're ready? All right.
Are.
Should be ready to go here in the client in a second here, but Akuma Sabers now on match point, looking to close out this series, have drafted a little bit differently here with Ziggs Akali, not something we've seen from them. But on the other side, you look at what Ivy Gaming have done, and they have gone for a completely different look as well, going for a Riven in the top lane, just stuff really unique in this game here. Even the Ezreal also. So both teams really changing it up from the first couple games. The meta shifting a little bit here thanks to the bans that are drawn on the Mordekaiser, the Gangplank. So everything just kind of switching up now in this series after an interesting couple games to start things off here, especially with that game 1, the way that played out with Ivy taking it, which is not something I think many people were really thinking was going to happen here. But now Akuma have put a portal together and looking to close out this series and get to the finals. So like I've asked you every time, any predictions for this game specifically? Like we talked about, unique and interesting things here, but is that going to change the result of this one, or do you think Akuma Sabers are going to close it out here and fulfill your prediction of 3-1?
Yeah, Akumas have just played way more consistently, more decisively. I think almost every game they've taken a Baron like sneakily or just from under the team's nose, and like it's really going to be, my eyes are on this Riven pick. I think she's going to have to do something really special in order to carry her team versus like what a more standard pick would do. I do think Akuma is going to win this game, just simply because as a team they've played a lot more cohesively and decisively. But Ivy has, I'll give him a 25% chance of winning this game based on the draft and what I've seen so far.
So not great odds, 25%. Shouldn't really take that bet too often here. And Akuma, they've had their troll game. They've had their troll game in game 1. Although they didn't draft anything crazy here. They just didn't come out the way that you'd normally expect the Akuma Sabers to come out based on the way they played in the past here. And now they're looking a bit better than they have been in the past. So we'll see if they pull it together here for this last game and are continue to remain strong and close it out here, or if Ivy Gaming can come back in the series and make it to game number 5. But should be an exciting one. No tanks this time around. Well, maybe the Jarvan will build tank in the sports, but the top laners and the Gragas in the jungle going to be going full damage here, so he should see some explosive action. In fact, we got a character who's entirely based on bombs here, so at least the Ziggs may throw us a few fireballs. Also got the Xayah, the Ezreal here. I'm predicting, personally, I'm thinking for his rune choice, I would imagine Fleet Footwork, but I don't really know what he would go. We talked a little bit about that, which keystone, but I'm not really sure what it would be. I mean, like, I think Fleet Footwork is most likely, but maybe Unsealed, maybe Omnistone, maybe even go something crazy with, like, Glacial Augment. I have no idea, but that'd be the most likely thing to me overall.
Still Conqueror's the highest win rate. I'm looking at the stats now. It's a 47% win rate with an 80% pick rate. So,
well, that's not terrible then.
Yeah, not the greatest, but not terrible. It's not like
Ezra's always been known for having like subpar win rates too, kind of like Callista, a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, Callista's had subpar win rates because she's terrible.
Yeah,
but
different reasons, not high skill cap. not because she's like Ezreal's. You have to hit skill
Well, no,
shots. And,
Callista's high skill cap. She's a tough
yeah,
champion to play.
but that's not the only reason. She's
Well,
also
yeah,
terrible.
that's what I'm saying. Is that in the past, even when Callista's been good, she's had win rates below what you would expect for a champion for a power level. Which Ezreal's had sort of the same thing, where it's like generally decent win rates, but he generally should have a win rate that's much higher. Just people aren't able to use him to the fullest extent, you know?
Yeah, they got to do something to make him a little more viable for sure. He's a little weak, but what he does provide here in this game is a lot more safety. Again, Akuma's going 3 triple teleports. I believe they did the same thing last game, but oh, it looks like Ezreal switched to teleport at the end there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's showing.
triple TP on the side of Ivy, and then double on the side of Akuma. Ziggs, Akali, TP, Azaya with heal, though.
Oh, Zaya switched to heal at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, it was backwards.
So Ivy Gaming actually with the 3 TPs. Akuma only with the 2. Still plenty of global. And Ziggs also has that ultimate that can go global, well, semi-global. It can get pretty
Yeah.
far, but not all the way.
Yeah. Could be devastating. Like into if Jarvan ults Syndra and Ziggs ult is just right in the middle of that, it's gonna just one-shot her practically.
Yeah, certainly. Ziggs and Jarvan combo well together. We talk about Orianna. I mean, Shockwave's a little bit quicker, a little bit more reliable with the Jarvan, but Ziggs can also throw a ton of damage down in that Cataclysm. So that's a tough thing to deal with if you get caught in there. And Syndra, not a champion that can get out easily. Thankfully, the other champions are, Gragas, Ezreal, Irvin, all can get out of that Cataclysm to some degree.
I do like Gragas into Jarvan for a couple reasons. Firstly, Gragas is as good, if not better, than Jarvan early game in the one-on-one because he can cancel Jarvan's EQ, and he can do a similar thing with like an E flash for a pretty much guaranteed stun or knock-up, just like Jarvan does with his EQ flash. Uh, Also, Gragas I find can be really useful late game, which Jarvan, in terms of damage, not so much. He can be tanky and set things up, but Gragas' ult can literally make or break like games if he mispositions the enemy team to a point where they can't fight you properly, or just straight up delivers the carries and you just win.
True. So with that, we'll take a short break. Be AKM number 4 here. Match point for Akuma Sabers, up 2-1 on the blue side for the first time this series. And I put together, a unique comp. Both teams have a different unique comp than we've had this series, but this could be our last game. We'll see if Akuma Sabers can close it out here and come back for game 4 in just a few moments. And we're back here ready for game number 4. A little invade ends up not mattering. Riven, mobility level 1 can get away pretty easy here, so doesn't look like there'll be a kill.
I would really like to see Ivy at least drop a ward here. Okay, they do. They waited till as late as possible. That was wise. We'll get the most value out of that ward. If you look at the ward and the Fog of War, I think there's a path that Jarvan can take where he's not spotted. Like hugging the wall towards the southwest end of the rift there.
Yeah. You probably can't sneak through there.
AKM, ping the enemy nexus again. Feeling strong. We'll see if they can come out on top again. They see that Gragas is starting here. Gragas again, most likely to do the 3 camp clear. We'll see. Going for a little cheese here, bot. Maybe? No.
Hex missed on the red buff, and some carry on his blue. Both junglers topside starts, so bot lanes get there pretty early, but top laners a little delayed.
Alright, Gragas is going to do an inside clear, it appears. He's doing his Raptors. Unless he decides to go top after, we'll see.
Well, doesn't appear that he's doing that. Nope, he is going top. Interesting that he would go Raptors into the Krugs here, but maybe looking for Predator boots, like the old route.
They pinged it with that ward. So they know Gragas went there, and he's most likely to go top. That gives Jarvan a lot of freedom with his options here. I'm not sure if they spotted Jarvan as well. The ward was there.
I mean, I might have considered starting red buff if I was Jarvan, if I knew the Gragas was starting topside, because he's probably going to do that 3 camp clear like the usual path where Gragas has been for a while, where you go 3 camps, Predator boots out on map. Because I think you can still get that, right? Even now with the goal changes. Captain Eagle has to flash in the mid lane. Thanks to the gank from some carry, is now Hexmist up topside. In fact, not going back for boots. He's going to go topside gank here. Shockpool level 2. Zuki going in. Body slam misses though in Shockpool with a nice job. Gets out without even using flash.
Yeah, Gragas doesn't commit the flash. A lot of times people will do that. I have done this before where you do the E and you know that like if it hits they die for sure, and you just don't flash and the enemy flashes it and you just walk away and spam your mastery, getting like a free flash, but not this time. Jarvan got a flash out of it and he's up a camp, so generally when you do a clear like that, it's much less efficient because now he had to recall and walk all the way bot. He ended up getting his boots. He did, so he has Predator. But now he has to fight Jarvan, who's... Okay, they see him. So Jarvan shouldn't get anything off this. This might be a dead Jarvan if they play this right. Turtle, very smart, plays it the right way.
Yep, Dredgeline lands, some carry over the wall. We'll get out here. Zuki and Shockpool fighting in the top side as well here. It looks like the bottom lane, they've disengaged there. So no one going to die, but a flash down from some carry.
Good overall win.
As a fight in the top side, Shockpool taken low.
Yeah, no, I like the matchup for Riven, for sure. I think Gragas missed a little bit of an opportunity to just throw and...
Oh, flash away from Shockpool. Zuki flashes in, and the turret will kill him. So a trade, but first blood over, so a slight advantage to the Riven. 1 for 1, but hey, 100 extra gold, not bad. Azuki gets the kill.
Definitely a worth, and I think Riven having started Longsword means she finishes an item, and now Akali only has pieces. So... even a bigger advantage than you would think.
Yep, quite nice there. Already a Warhammer and CDR, great. Of course, on a Riven here. And now Shockpool, just an Amp Tome and some cloth armor. So, not a great buy for him. Definitely a big advantage to the Riven there. All the CS there. You can see Shockpool the slight lead. Not massive, but it is a lead. So, it's going to make it a little bit for that. As Gragas topside once again here, as the dragon will spawn in a moment. And that's going to be a cloud dragon there. So both the mid and top lanes have back. Junglers, bot lane hasn't really backed yet. Been pretty much farm lane there. Very even. Nothing really much happening besides the junglers, you know, getting a little mixed up.
Ezreal's doing just fine. He'll TP, get a tier. Yep, he does have that. He TP'd back. Braum tanks the wave for a few seconds, and it shouldn't be that much CS down. Zaya does not have teleport, so they can choose to either freeze this or shove it, whatever they want.
Knock up by Azuki here. Short trade in the top side. Right now, the top laners are free to trade. Neither jungler there at the moment. And again, the Akali up a bit of CS here, put out over a wave. But has to be careful. Azuki just hit level 6. Azuki going forward, and Shockbull dashes back there with a Shuriken flip, and Hex missed, clearing out a ward with Captain Ezekiel on the bot side.
If Ziggs has not donated this blue buff, he may have mana issues pushing against this Syndra. Syndra's like almost full mana, and Ziggs barely has enough for a combo. He might just reset here. That would probably be the smart decision.
Blue's also not spawning for a decent amount of time, and Jarvan's not there, so not really a great situation for the Ziggs overall. Here has Azuki gonna find a knockup. A bit of damage here coming back and forth. The Conqueror as well for Shockbull, allowing those longer trades to go somewhat evenly as it's Conqueror to Conqueror instead of Conqueror to Fleet.
Yeah, Shockbull playing it well, considering the fact that he was leveled down for a few trades there.
And still up 10 CS here in the top side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not quite making up for... Well, actually, he is making up for the difference in the first blood because they traded 1-for-1. So the gold is actually pretty similar there.
Yeah,
Actually, he's up actually on the Akali.
Predator pops.
Maximus coming in. Predator. Body slam. They find the knockup onto Brash. Dredgeline lands, and that'll be a kill onto Brash. Although, hold on. Flash away. The heal came through, so the Braum will survive. Damage from the Ziggs across the map with the bomb. In the end...
Gragas had to counter flash as well from the Ziggs ult.
Yep, beautifully done there. Brash gets out, and they get a flash off of Hexmas. Captain Ezekiel coming in here. Scout of the Week stun. Nope, the Dredge line comes in. Great. Yeah, very good flash there by Indigo. Dodging 2 abilities with the flash, and will survive.
Brash actually pushed that to the absolute limit. He lined them up for Zaya there, and then was able to block the damage that would have been the final damage to kill him. Ziggs puts a good amount of damage on the tower here. Retreats towards his Jarvan.
The CS in the mid and bot lanes relatively even, although the CS in the bot lane about a wave in favor of Bobby thanks to that TP here. Some carry getting jumped on by Azuki. Captain Ezekiel here as well. It's a 2v2, but already the Jarvan going to be taken down. Unleash power. Captain Ezekiel secures that one. A nice rotation for the top laner. Azuki and Captain Ezekiel collapse on some carry. A kill over.
Yeah, it's the power of the Riven Syndra. Might have been a premonition when I said Riven Syndra will kill anyone they 2v1 pretty much instantly without counterplay. They get just a lot of damage from both of those people for pretty much free as long as you haven't CC'd.
Well, Shockbull going in onto Azuki. Already used the first part of his ultimate. Taking an aggressive trade here, but won't force much out of Azuki. Dragon will go over. Smite by Hexmas secures it.
Not looking too bad for Ivy so far. I will say though, Ziggs' late game is amazing because he can dish a crap load of AoE damage, and from relative safety because he has that W to either peel or disengage himself, like move himself away. So we'll see how that goes.
So looks like a Warrior Jarvan this time around. Not going to be the Cinderhulk Jarvan that has been played in the past by Hexmas mostly. So more damage. I was saying, hey, maybe Jarvan will take... No, it's full damage from everyone except for the supports. Unless they pull something out crazy. But everyone's building damage.
Some carry doesn't know that he just walked over a ward because there was a ward in that other brush on River. Just expired, but they know about this.
Well, going for the dive, Azuki low. Shock will take the turret shot. Hexmas in with the Predator, but they already jumped on him. Hexmas dead. Ziggs bomb doesn't even need needed. Captain Ezekiel coming in. Gonna find a nice 2-man stun. Azuki not here, but the Captain Ezekiel will secure the kill onto Shockbull. Flashing by Azuki. Some carry flashing out. Dodges much of the abilities, and now Brash gonna save his life thanks to the Guardian and the shield. And now Captain Ezekiel flashing away Griffin. Gonna find the last auto concussive. Blows stun and knock up Griffin with the kill. Nicely done by Akuma. They lose 1, but get 2 members, I believe, in the end. Yeah, 2 members. The death timer is so short, I wasn't sure if the Gragas had actually died.
Yeah. I was looking too. It was like, wait a second. How's Gragas gold peeking?
So 1,000 gold lead now for Akuma after the gold was quite even for a long time, but at 10-20. 3-3 in kills and 1,000 gold up, 1,200 gold up as Indigo going to use the ultimate, the Featherstorm, to dodge out much of the damage. Turtle, though, still has found the Dredge line. A kill. Turtle credited with the last hit. And that's a nice dive there in the bot side. Unfortunately, Brash's rotation catches his AD carry out. Down the Xayah goes.
Very close. Yeah, unfortunately, not a great position to be in for the Xayah, but you have to give that farm. You can't risk them diving you there if you really don't have any backup. Maybe she was trying to call the bluffs, but I believe they knew that Noah was there because of the whole shenanigans going on top lane. The thing we see here is CS leads for the majority of AKM. Significant lead in the jungle. Actually, the biggest CS lead, I believe, is in the jungle right now. Close. Jungle and top are basically both 30 CS up or more.
Yes,
That's pretty much their whole gold lead.
yeah, pretty much at this point. It appears to be.
Negligible advantage for Ivy in the bot lane in terms of farm. He'll get a little bit more off this wave.
Infernal in 2 minutes, and Rift Herald is, I believe, the Riven taking it right now. Yep, she will secure that one. So Rift Herald over, 8 minutes on that one, and 2 minutes on the Dragon at 145. 145 right now as we hit 1150. And now potential dive here. Griffin coming through for Akuma. Captain Ezekiel soon to follow, though, and Griffin just going to take the blast cone out. So a potential dive play. They end up calling it off. Akuma smartly back out with the rotation from Captain Ezekiel to reinforce.
Uzuki does have TP. They don't have a ward deep enough, though, to do anything bad, so he's probably just going to reset. Oh, he's canceled it. Even though he has a fast recall with Herald.
Hacked over the wall, finds a body slam under Brash, and he'll walk it out. 1 minute left now on the Dragon spawn. Rift Herald in the top lane for Uzuki. He has TP. Shockbull has TP. Griffin and Ezekiel, everyone's got TP, so pretty much should mean there should, if they want to go for it anyway, there could be a 5v5 on this Dragon. Hacksmith's coming up.
Mid, the W, pretty much saving Griffin there.
And the satchel charge saves the life of Griffin. Very hard to gank him when he throws that at you. It just knocks you back away.
Yeah, he would have had to flash it. And even if you channeled E, it would have been canceled.
So the Ziggs pick, a surprise pick, but apparently working out well so far. He's got the 1 kill and actually a CS lead slightly in the mid lane over Captain Ezekiel, so going well there.
He has been looking for the assists with the ult too. Looks like Riven's teleporting bot.
Yeah, a lot of damage down onto Inigo here. We're getting a
Always gonna be
TP.
late to
2
play.
TPs, Captain Ezekiel and Azuki here. And now massive damage. Brash has fallen in the front line. And some carry cataclysm in,
sends TP,
but he
very
just goes
late.
down. Bobby very, very low. Shockpool here as well. Wild Turtle, W's Turtle
Cancels
coming
the
out
dash.
of the stopwatch. Shockpool with 1 kill. With a second, Shockpool somehow salvages the play. A double kill for the Akali. Turtle and Bobby gonna fall. But it's a 3 for 2 in the end here, so not a winning play in the end for Akuma. Ivy looking for the Dragon, but Griffin is here. Ultimate available, and Indigo clearing out the wave on the turret.
Certainly well played. I do think that Ezreal overstayed his welcome there, though. He certainly didn't have to die there.
A lot of damage incoming, but the Dragon will go over Hexmist with the smite. Rift Herald still in the palms of Azuki. Summoning it now, won't get interrupted, and onto the turret he goes. First turret still on the table here. Rift Herald gonna get the charge off, but I don't think it'll be enough to kill. Nope, not enough to knock out the turret here, so decent damage, but about a quarter health left. So 2 Dragons over now. To the side of Ivy Gaming. Akuma in the gold lead, but not by much anymore. Only 1,000. And about 5 minutes on the Rift Herald, 4 on the Dragon, so no neutral objectives for a while. And, of course, platings have already expired about a minute ago, so not really much in terms of objectives on the map other than just these base turrets. And it looks like Shockpool may get that top turret, thanks to Azuki being so long gone from the top lane. And first turret will go over to Shockpool. So nicely done there. 4 kills on the Akali, and now some turret gold in his pocket as well. And now Azuki going in for an aggressive trade.
Here.
Azuki's actually
He has
down
his ultimate.
in this trade, losing quite heavily.
Yeah, if Riven had channeled her ultimate for that, she may have won the trade, but Now she has to play very safe. She doesn't know where Jarvan is. And she's low. She went Black Cleaver first. I
Black
imagine
Cleaver
she's going to-
Warhammer right now in the inventory, so 30% CDR. Some carry gonna steal the
Let's
creds.
get, forget the name of the item that restores 12% damage you deal.
Death Stance.
Yeah, Death Stance, correct.
There you go. Brash and Indigo going in. They find the root now onto Turtle. Knock up here. He's taking a lot of damage and will go down here. Brash actually gets the kill, I think, with Ignite. As Shockpool going in, he's on a lot of damage on Azuki, hopping away Cataclysm. Azuki hops out, though. Shockpool coming in, massive damage from Azuki. The win slash huge. Shockpool trying to get it, but no, shut down. Huge outplay by the Riven, somehow surviving. Griffin here trying to ward away Bobby, and the turret will most likely go over Akuma with the help of Griffin, and there he goes. It goes down. Third turret for them. Akuma winning in objectives, but are actually losing 9-6 in kills. Or 6-9, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, look how much Azuki healed in that fight. And now imagine when he finishes Death Stance. Or technically he could be going for Hexdrinker. Into Maw.
Possible. We'll see where he goes from there. Azuki on the turret right now. Ivy Gaming are down gold, but have been winning the fights. Really kind of interesting, honestly. And Azuki 5 kills out of those 9. So over half the kills right now on the Riven top. As turret can be taken by Heximus and Azuki. Here's some people trying to come in and reinforce. Bottom lane turret going to go down as well for Ivy there.
Yeah,
so two turrets back, but they're still down 1 in total.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at the gold lead now, they're within 1,000 of each other. Pretty much cleans it up. It's just that tower that's the difference.
Alrighty, so very, very close game here in game number 4. 1,000 gold the lead right now for Akuma, but really not a massive difference overall between these guys so far. And it's match point. Like Akuma, if they win this, they go on. If Ivy Gaming win, we go to a game 5 here. So we're getting really close to the end. No matter what happens, we're only a game or 2 away, and these teams are battling their hearts out. But now Rift Herald started by Akuma here. Again, Ivy Gaming have winning the fights, but Akuma are still in the lead in this game. Although just slightly here. And Rift Herald gonna be taken. Akuma just not, or Ivy Gaming not able to get here quick enough. Akuma just a fast rotation up there, and they rotate the objective.
Again, we talked about this. We talked about this before. Oh, get the Ziggs flash. Gets the double
Stun
stun.
gonna land. Yep, Scout of the Week from Ezekiel found a stun, but no follow-up here, and Griffin flashed. I'm not sure why, but
Akuma again, just like first to the play. They're more decisive, and that's the main reason that they're ahead in this series right now. They're the first ones to the play in the majority of plays, and sometimes they'll make a play that they have to decide right then and there if it's going to work, like these Baron plays or that Rift Herald play. A little bit of tension in the bot lane here, bot jungle, I should say. This pink warded Tri-Brush.
yep, knock up found here. Brash in a bit of trouble here. He's going to get collapsed on the team fight breaking out. Cataclysm, some carries already found 1 kill, and Indigo hitting Azuki here. The stun found thanks to the cuss of blows, and Azuki going to fall. Flash in. Azuki gets 1 back, but a shutdown there big for the Xayah. Turtle just walking out mid lane through the bombs of the Ziggs here. So 2 down from either side. Very split up fight, but even at the end, really.
Yeah, I'd say map pressure, of course, because the HP definitely goes to Akuma, and that's going to be their first dragon of the game, which is going to be an Ocean. By itself, decently valuable, will help you regen from fights.
Yep, so
I didn't get to mention before, Ziggs' zoning power around here by the Rift Herald during that attempt at contesting that Rift Herald is actually insane. His W/E putting it at any choke point means they can't walk over there without significant penalty. W could mean a death if he casts it at, like, detonates it at the right time.
Ziggs insect.
Ziggs insect, exactly.
So 20 minutes in, Baron has spawned. Akuma slightly up more than they were, slightly more up than they were a few minutes ago, but not a, again, not a massive lead. Ezreal on Triforce in tier. Xayah on Essence Reaver. So both 80 carries on 1 item, trying to get to that second in the next few minutes here. But neither really quite there just yet. And now another Ocean, of course, coming up thanks to the new dragon system we've got here. And Bobby gonna take some farm here, pick up that red buff. So from here, what's the next goal for both these sides? We have some control wards and a few trinkets as well placed on the top side. But is Baron really concerned right now? We've seen a few rushes from Akuma in this game, but will that really happen this time?
Yeah, the DPS of Akuma is pretty high. With Jarvan E, Ziggs auto attacks are actually pretty effective, passive, and Zaya's reasonably strong. She already has her first crit item finished. If she just finishes her next deal item, which it looks like she's going to do rapid fire cannon or a shiv, probably a rapid fire cannon, they can DPS that down within the time that it would take to rotate from about the dragon area. But that's only if they even know about it. I mean, right now, from their point of view, they could be setting up for Baron. From Ivy's point of view, that is. Other than that, I mean, for Ivy though, the Riven's really strong. He can probably 1v1 anyone on the enemy. Should be splitting, pulling pressure, and then the team should be collapsing on whatever happens there. Like Riven
Zuki
almost
looking for the fight onto Shockpool. Already used the ultimate and doing a lot of damage. Not able to quite find the kill just yet. And Shockpool with the gunblade active and his ultimate will be able to hop away.
Ult for ult and a health lead for Azuki. He's doing what he should be doing though. He's splitting. His TP is up. He can win the 1v1. Unfortunately, the Rift Herald might force him to have to group with his team, but
Rift Herald in the mid lane. It's walking down there now. And it looks like a play trying to be made by Akuma here in the mid lane. And remember, with Ziggs and his satchel charge can execute turrets, so any damage you do is massive. Yep, there it goes. Turret down here. Rift Herald massive along with the Ziggs. Turret taking potential is incredible. But it looks like the Rift Herald not going to get a second chance.
Thing for Ziggs.
Yeah.
So now that Riven does not have her ultimate, it's not that long of a cooldown, 15 more seconds. It will be up before Akali's, which is 48 seconds. If she can make a play directly on that, I'm not sure that Riven knows the exact cooldown differential between the two. But it would certainly earn her a flash. Akali should probably build a Morello's if she plans to split against this Riven next. I don't know what she is planning on building, but the item's good by itself, but the healing reduction is definitely necessary if she has any chance of beating Riven with Conqueror and Death Stance.
Well, we'll see if she decides to actually play the side lane. Right now, she's got Zhonya's Gunblade.
Yeah.
We'll see if she actually intends to do that, or if she's just going to try and stop Azuki from taking turrets and just going to let the side lane come to her. But Ivy Gaming moving through the topside jungle, there's complete control of it right now, putting down wards. Again, they're down gold, but they are actually fighting really quite well. And are winning a lot of these team fights here. As some damage being put down. Oh, here's the engage here from Akuma. They find one kill already onto Turtle. TP coming through here. That's going to be from the Akali. Azuki hops in, finds a double knock up here on a some carrying Brash. Now Choco coming into the backline. In the Shroud he goes. Hexmist in the stopwatch. He'll be able to come out, but he dies immediately. And that's two kills big for Akuma. And now that should be a potential Baron startup for them, as I don't know how they're going to contest as Ivy with no jungler here.
It's a very sad way for them to lose that relatively even game state. I mean, it looks like the Baron's going to go over to them. Riven did ult and flash already. She seems to be posturing here, but her team's not necessarily on the same page as her.
And the Baron at 3,000 health.
It's going to be a dead Riven if she didn't hightail it out right now.
Nothing that can be done here. Ivy Gaming just have to give it up. Akuma secured the Baron after a bit of an interesting team fight that never really panned out in true 5v5. It was just awkward where both teams are kind of circling around each other, and then eventually two members were just kind of caught a little bit too far, and Ivy Gaming lose two and lose the Baron.
Yeah, Turtle unfortunately was caught out there. It looks like they were looking to do something mid lane, but when he couldn't, he was just kind of caught between an enemy team and a Ziggs ult behind him. And he just ended up dying to a Jarvan ult, which followed up. He kind of stayed in between, but that ended up costing them the Baron. Hopefully they can put up a decent fight for this. I mean, Baron's a decent buff for fighting, but they can afford to give away this Ocean Drake.
Dragon looks like it will be given up, as you said. Brash looking, Winter's Bite misses.
Teleport from Riven. If
An
Akali's
interesting
not
TP.
yet
Home
there,
guard is available. Looks like she wants to flank here. Ezreal going to use the True Shot Barrage out, and no engage in the end from Ivy.
sides against it. Home guard's TP ended up not amounting to anything that is going to matter in terms of how much pressure she can put in the split push now. Maybe they don't know that she teleporting, that they can bluff. I've seen it done, but it is definitely risky. Ezekiel in a strong spot. He can still kill most of them with a full combo. Not Braum, or probably Jarvan. It appears Akali has heard my prayers in what she needs against Riven, and she is going to go for that Morello. She already has the Oblivion Orb. Storming the bot lane here. They really want to try to hold this inhibitor line. I don't know if they can.
It's being sieged on two sides right now with the Baron buff Akuma. Again, have that Ziggs, which is crucial in taking turrets. You can execute at below 25 health, or 25% health here.
Not to mention his passive auto does 500 to structures.
That too. Especially with the changes of AP damage on turrets here as we get a bomb in. Bobby taking a lot of damage. Shock kill in the mid lane.
Satchel charge, I believe.
Yep. So satchel charge used, and that should be the turret in the bot lane here as now Akuma go in and an engage coming through. Cataclysm finds two. Turtle and a Captain Ezekiel surely dead here. They buy a little bit of time, but not much, and that's a double kill for some carry here. The full damage Jarvan working out. Well, and now Shock
now or never for Ivy.
On Azuki. They're trying to fight this 1v1 here. Azuki looking for the win. This Zonia's art is going to buy a bit of time, and Akuma are going straight for the Nexus. Flash, and Xmas finds a big play here. The cask is huge, and that's 3 kills here. A double for the Ezreal, and Shocklow's going to win the 1v1 on the other side, but some carry's going to have to back out. Too aggressive from Akuma, and now some carry's going to die. Triple kill for Bobby. So in the end, Shocklow wins the 1v1, but a complete decimation by Hexmist of Akuma Gaming. Ivy somehow stay alive.
That's the Gragas ultimate I was talking about. I mean, splits up the team, keeps one of them under tower, and does an insane amount of damage for a Gragas who is significantly behind at that point. He's just building in pure AP, pretty much.
That was a massive body slam flash into explosive cask and just wiped them. Complete decimation there. Despite losing 2 at the beginning of that one, they're actually fighting 3v5. And in a basically a 2v4 situation, they end up coming out on top because there was a 1v1 on the other side. So Ezreal and Gragas saved their season.
Riven, the only reason she lost that 1v1 was because Akali had a perfectly timed stopwatch during the Riven second cast of the ultimate. Very well played by her. I was watching that fight simultaneously.
Yep, so 1 inhibitor down, 1 Nexus turret down, but we still have an inhibitor open in the mid lane, an inhibitor that's completely impossible to be knocked down until that inhibitor and the inner turret taken out in the top lane here. So there are some openings for Akuma here, but I doubt they can end the game until this next Baron spawns or there's another team fight 1. And we've got Baron and Dragon coming up in just a minute and a half or so.
Ezreal's actually pretty strong right now. He's going to be difficult to kill. He still has his flash. He obviously has his arcane shift with the E there. They should try to take a fight now. That's what Ivy needs to do, is they need to fight preferably before this Baron spawns and they get routed into position.
He's in a flank position. He's going in. He's found the backline. Indigo uses the Featherstorm. He's trying to kite it. He does root it, but Azuki with the stopwatch. Now some carrying the front line doing damage here. Shockpool coming in. Ezekiel. Oh, he's down. Huge play in the front line there as now Shockpool in the back line. He's going to find the kill on a Bob. Maybe Bobby. No. Bobby able to shift away, but the stopwatch used. The Zoni's used. And now it looks like Akuma are going to win this fight. Only Azuki and Bobby left. Some carry gets that kill onto Azuki, who has somehow survived throughout the entire fight. And now Bobby, the only one left. He's done magic before, but can he do it again here? Ivy Gaming on their last leg. It looks like Akuma are going to pile into the base here. The last Nexus turret being taken up by the minions as we speak. And now Nexus under fire. Looks like that's it. Akuma going to move on to the finals in a 3-1 score. A surprising game 1 from Ivy. They come out and win in a very, very close game. But the next 3 are all Akuma. And they are going to move on here and take on the, I believe, the 2nd place seed in the finals here, but secure their spot in the finals as many predicted. And as you predicted, a 3-1 score for Akuma Sabers over Ivy Gaming Black.
Yeah, really well played by AKM. I mean, they kind of just were like every time they decide everything at the snap of a finger and they all go for it, whether it works out or not. Looking at damage numbers here, Riven did do the most on the team. Ezreal actually put up similar damage numbers as well. The only person who outdamaged either of them was Ziggs. Actually, the Ziggs pick coming out huge in terms of overall damage dealt.
Yep. So Lane Zero actually the 3 seed. So it'll be 1 versus 3 seed in the finals here. Lane Zero versus Akuma Sabers is gonna be your finals matchup. Quite a match here. Again, game 1 went to Ivy Gaming Black, and then 3 games in a row for Akuma Sabers, which, usually sometimes people go with, the second or third game, they get a little lazy, get a little lackadaisical, and can lose that one. We had an AP Shivani yesterday. I mean, that alone could tell you what was going on there. But in these games, we've got a really nothing crazy in game 1, and it was just Ivy Gaming outplayed Akuma Sabers, and that suddenly woke them up. They were like, hey guys, we actually got to play here, and they came out swinging in game 2, 3, and 4, and just took the series like that. So it was kind of interesting to see how that one went. But Ivy Gaming, I mean, they put up a great fight even in the games they were losing, but Akuma Sabers had that extra gear that Ivy Gaming weren't able to reproduce here.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the success of the Riven pick in general. He played it pretty well, got a couple good plays off, but there just wasn't the follow-up overall from the team, and he wasn't able to continue with the lead he had developed initially. Overall, valiantly fought by Ivy. Like you said, every game they still had fight in them. It's not like they were just giving every objective for free. That first game was super close. Both teams fought that one really well, and I definitely say was my favorite game in the series as well.
All right, well, we'll take a short break. We'll be back in just a second. Hopefully, we get a word from Akuma Sabers and see what's on their minds as we go into the finals.
Yes.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're here with Akuma Sabers, our winning team. Any thoughts after the game here? I know you guys always like to say something after a nice win.
I mean, it was about what I expected. Those guys were really horrible. That's what we saw all season. They were garbage. Well, just one wake-up game.
Yeah, what was that about? Game 1 loss, and then 3 games in a row win. So what was going on there? Were you guys just not in it? You just realized, hey, we actually have to play? What was the deal?
Brash on anything but Nautilus slow. That's what.
My boy Brash always has a little bit of trouble with that first game.
True.
I blame season 10.
You blame season 10?
Yes,
Is season 10 already doomed?
it is.
That's unlucky. I was hoping for something better after season 9. Been unlucky. So what do you guys think about your next opponent? You guys are going against Lane Zero, the 3 seed, I believe. Any thoughts on that? We're going to be playing January 18th, so next weekend on the next Saturday.
I mean, they're okay. They got a couple players, Malstinky, Toilet. They're probably the second best team, but I don't think it'll be very close either.
So are you guys going to predict a 3-0 then, or are you guys going to be like, well,
No, it'll probably be 3-1.
3-1, 3-1.
We've always got a wake-up game.
Always got a wake up game.
We always lose the first one.
That's a concerning sign. For any coach, it would be like, all right, they lose the first game every time. I'd be concerned.
Why? If you win the next
We're just
three.
seeing what they do. We're just testing our lane opponent, seeing what's up.
You're just getting information.
Mm-hmm.
So, any thoughts? You talked. Okay, lane 0, not afraid of. You guys don't seem to be afraid of anyone. But is there anything you guys need to do differently for that game, or that series in particular? Anything else, or are you guys same old, same old?
Maybe we'll start practicing.
True.
At some point, we'll
true.
play together before game day.
I think it's safe to say that Lane Zero has gone a little downhill, or at least that team
True.
since.
We're bringing in their own players for finals just to give them a smack of their own medicine. That's all I'm gonna say.
So so you guys predict 3-1 because you guys are gonna fall asleep in game 1. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to say to Lane 0 or the people that have watched you throughout the playoffs?
I mean, we got a couple players from their team that they scared off because their players are very toxic. So we're just gonna win it for them. Win it for my boy Powder. Win it for my boy Indigo.
All right then. Anything else to say? Any shout-outs before we go? This has been a very tame interview. You guys used to be so much rowdier. I'm confused.
We're just
A lot less
chilling.
teams to trash talk anymore.
Yeah.
People are too scared because once they start talking, they lose. There's not really much else to say, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I guess I won't egg you guys on anymore. I appreciate
And
it.
either way, if Lane 0 wins, Akuma wins because they have a Akuma player now. So either way, it's a win-win for us.
True.
And my boy 9line Klein goes out on a good note since he's retiring after the season. If they win.
They won't win though.
Yeah, no. Just saying. Hypothetically.
All right. So, last chance. Anything else you guys want to say? Shout-outs? Anything?
Shout out to the boy Indigo for subbing in and doing really good, I guess. Having to deal with me.
Well,
Shout out to all the Kuma boys watching the game.
yeah.
True.
Fluke's been talking in chat. He's
Who?
Fluke's been. All right. Well, I'm sure he loved that. I'm sure he appreciated that. All right. So I'll see you guys then next week. Then next Saturday, the 18th. Next Saturday. So thank you guys, and hopefully you can put on a good show for us next weekend.
All right.
Sure.
All right. We'll see you.
Shock
See ya.
full of collie kind of pog.
Oh my god, they later added me. Oh no.
Added me too.
No.
All right. Thank you to Akuma for the interview. Thank you to H King. I think he's already gone off. He's had enough of me. He can only stand a few games, a few hours of me. Otherwise, he's got to get out of here. But thank you to H King. Thank you to Akuma. And thank you to you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking with us through a long night. Not as long as some others, but certainly quite a distance we've gone together. So thank you very much. We'll see you again, like I said, next weekend, the 18th, Saturday, January the 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be Lane 0 versus Akuma Sabers, the 1 and 3 seeds here, and Akuma obviously predicting they're going to win. I think it should be one of our best series of the year for sure. Two great teams going up against each other, and I'm very excited to see that. So hopefully we'll get a great match then too as well. And obviously, good game, well played. Ivy Gaming, great job by those guys. Really well done. And some great guys over there. So thanks for putting on a great match for us. And if you want to find me, I'm not Kios. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Just search my name. I am not COUS. Pretty simple. And yeah, stay tuned. There's probably some pretty exciting news for me coming up soon. So if you follow me on Twitter, you're probably going to get that. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks to everyone at the Sugar Free League, all our viewers, so much. And again, Saturday, January 18th, 8 p.m. We're going to have the Sugar Free League Finals. Akuma Sabers versus Lane 0. And we'll see you guys then. So don't stay tuned. Please go and eat because you'll starve to death. So, and then come back. And we'll see you guys then. Have a good night, everyone.